What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée, and this is the come up. Man, we got a big one for you. I'm back from Miami. We're looking at P&Ls that went in on the screen. We got big stuff going. Shout out to the Profit Circle in the chat already waiting for me, man. We're going to set up this super chat. See if this shit works this time, man. It was tripping last time. They did an update on YouTube, I guess. And I don't even know if the super chat is working. It always says error occurred, but whatever. I was trying to do the super chat goal. If I can get 10 super chats, then what we're going to do is do a live trade of the chat's choice. And that way, I'll let you guys pick what ticker you want me to trade on Breakout Prop. And I'll do it live and show you my strategy and all my setups. But we got a lot of stuff to go down and run down today. I only got 1 hour today. So tell a friend to tell a friend. We're going to start doing some giveaways. Man, if I get 100 likes on this, we're giving away $1,000. 100 likes. All right? That's an aggressive goal. But if I get 100 likes live, within the next hour here, I'm going to give away $1,000 to whoever's most active in the chat. That's how we're going to do that. All right? So, tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's jump in this thing. All right, I got a lot of stuff to go over today. Yes, my thumbnail is not clickbait. He was wrong, and so was everybody else. So it's not even really to single him out. Raoul Pal, how I pronounce his name. Apologize for butchering the man's name. But, there's a lot of changes a lot of people have been making and backpedaling and stuff this cycle because they say it was different. But if you've been rocking with me this whole time, you know that in the Profit Circle, I was right this whole time, So we're going to watch that clip, and I'm going to tell you why I say that. There's a clip of him. And, I'm going to let everybody get in here for a second. I'm going to play an older music video of mine. It's not even a music video. It's just a rap, me sitting here at the desk here, rapping about what's going on in this market. You know what I mean? And it shows some of the predictions. Also, I dropped it in July, maybe it was June. I can't remember when I first dropped it, but basically had all these ideas longer than it took me to actually drop it. And you're going to peep a couple predictions I make in it. And so that's what we're going to do just to let a few more people get up in here. One time. We go to turn on YouTube is this one right here. Imaginary Traders. A lot of you have seen it, but some people have not. And I'm going to preface the beginning where I'm talking about how I've been on CNBC, the Wall Street Journal. This is the type of song, it's not just at traders, it's at crypto rappers and everybody else. Your boy Cassius Cuvée has been doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it. So let's get it popping here.
Yeah. Gotta be the pioneer of this trade entertainment shit, I was the one on the cover of the Wall Street Journal when they was buying Twitter followers and shit, man. I was the one on CNBC rapping about trading this shit, man. Been on the biggest stage for anybody, man. Bottom line. Now let's see how many real rap fans fuck with market cypher. Check. I retired a hit maker on fire, I spit vapor. Join the market cipher, inspire and get paper. Pushing price up and down like the top of a roller coaster at 100K or over. Be swole as the flopping groper. I ain't talking broker when I say what's cracking. Post your gains, not bragging, just to show what happened. See, the MC caters to nothing but real traders. It gave us a better edge than a gamble in Las Vegas. Some people got fantasies, and I ain't trying to damage y'all, but I always kept it real. I ain't never believed in Santa Claus. Y'all be chasing trends like a school of fish. I been knew how to swim. I can win in this foolishness. What's going up in here? I ain't wanna duck in fear. You wanna trade memes? Fine, in here. Hold my fucking beer. Long-term utility, they stay fading. So fuck it. I'm making a living off day trading. Stocks, Forex, or just a crypto lifer. Either way, you getting paid off using the market cipher. Hit my referral link. Get your whole team joined. We'll run for president just to pump your own meme coin. In the meantime, I'ma just swing mine. Looking at the charts like green is green, fine. I don't care if you don't pay attention to all the shit I played. The only thing I pay attention to is the momentum wave. There's a lot of tickets that I think I may buy. Shoot, they claim AI, but they don't really say why.
They don't even say why.
Talk a bunch of shit, but really need to shut their lip. 100x, double it, and go buy the fucking dip. That's apologies, and it hurts for me to say this, but I'm still inadvertently intimidating haters. The speed rap went over your head, I'ma slow it down. Versatile, any style, I'ma hold the crown. The king they hate, like eating pork when it's Ramadan. I only fire back if Andrew Tate and Elon respond. See, I ain't playing games with you fucking lames. You came with a troll? I came for the fucking gains. Everywhere I look, I seen vultures. You here for the meme culture, I'm here for the green culture. I'm focused on filling up these extra big bags. I'm talking rags to the richest like the kids from the past. Got the game from the school of hard knocks. Never skip class, I'm from East Oakland. We ain't playing with your bitch ass. I filmed Spec Dream and guaranteed it'd make a big splash. The song hit fast and gave financial news whiplash. Proved I can go viral as many times that I wanted. I just don't give a fuck about the likes or a comment. I don't need to go out of my way for the attention. Nowadays it's kinda kinda strange, people pay for the attention. Coinbase sucks, you trade like real cucks. You made 9 cents a coin, I made $4. Multiplied by whatever's is 45 the leverage. Winning all the hedges and Cuvée's the beverage. Fine, I'll trade memes and anything else. Baby, I choose rich, I'm like, give me the wealth. Like Jay-Z, the song is most important, it's throwback. Don't talk to me about rap if you motherfuckers didn't know that.
That's right.
Long-term investors, y'all funny to me. Making money being you, but still you wanna be me. Guess for every percent you make, it's like 100 for me. But now you hating to see they feature me on CNBC. Yeah, it's funny how one meme can fuck up the game. Oh, you only bought spot? You better get your change. You can't 100x leverage and switch exchange. You ain't sniped 1,000% and fix your aim. Imaginary traders. Imaginary traders. Imaginary traders, man. You probably hop in my comments and ask me some stupid shit like, hey, yo, dog, how much does the average MC trader make an average day?
Like 30 to 40 grand, cocksucker, beat it.
You know, and this is the come up with your boy Cassius Cuvée. Do it every Sunday at noon. If you're new and you're just now tapping in, I know I got a lot of new subscribers and stuff. We do this every Sunday at noon Pacific time. Give it to you live right here on YouTube. And, you know, I'm one of the ones who going to give it to you straight. You know what I mean? I'm not the one who's going to sell you a bunch of nonsense, all right? I'm the one who's going to keep it real with you. So shout out to the chat. I see you guys in there filling it up. This time we're doing a $1,000 giveaway if I get 100 likes on this video. I know that's an aggressive goal, but we want to get 100 likes in the next hour. And whoever's most active in the chat is going with that $1,000. I'm real about it. So here we go right here, man. We're looking at Santos right here. Let me see. So let me just say one time for the one time, all right? It's not financial advice. Everything I say is my own opinion on here. On the screen, you do see referral codes. On Breakout Prop, you get a discount if you use my referral code, and I may receive a commission for that. On Fimex, I may also receive a commission if you create an account with my invite code. You do get special perks. If you use my invite code, it makes the sign-up process a lot easier, GMMNX5. If you create a Fimex account with my code there, then you get 1 month free access to the premium side of the private group, the Profit Circle, where we post the trade setups, where we post market analysis talking about it. I got my bullish stickers, my bearish stickers, all the premium things right there. Uh-oh, I look like my chat, I might have lost something on the internet here. Let's see if you guys are still there. I can't tell. Everything just said signal loss, the internet loss. I don't know what that's about. Well, if you're in the Profit Circle, you already know what's popping, and that's what was up on the screen here earlier. Santos. So this brings me back to Santos right here. I'm just going to act as if this is working. Let's hope it's still working. Let's see here. I don't know if y'all lost it or not. Looks like y'all still here. All right, cool. So Santos was brought to my attention by someone in the Profit Circle, Blueberry, one of the top traders, one of the top wave makers in the group. If you become a verified wave maker, then that's what you call it. You get access to the Future Trade channel too. So you're going to see the setups, but then other people posting there besides me. So that's why you want to create a Fimex account using my invite code, because it'll be verified in Discord with the Discord bot, and that's how you get access to the premium setup. So now me, last night, or not even last night, it was like middle of the day yesterday, but by the time I woke up early this morning, like 5 in the morning, I already had won my trades. And so we are going to look at the charts, of course, on TradingView here. Here's just Bitcoin. I must have drawn this somewhere around here, so that was in November. And look at this arrow. It's following my trajectory almost, just right on Bitcoin, all right? I just, once the bear market started, we called it top, And I said right now, pumps are for, rips are for selling rips, and I'm selling rips instead of buying dips. That's what I'm looking at right now in general, all right? Now, specifically, I'm going to go over the trades that I just won. I put them in the Profit Circle in the wins channel. So what we have here is, let's see, pull this up here. Oh, this is the general chat. Someone asked me a question in the general chat today, so we're going to come back to that question. But we have a wins channel over here on the left-hand side, and I put these wins in here, and then someone else that followed me right here, they did the same setup there. So that's basically, I put 4 tickers in there. This is in the, let me go right down here. Future trade setup. Oh, looks like someone else got some stuff in there. Blueberry, right here. He got a couple of setups in here. I had put these in there, 4 of them. And they all kind of did the same thing. And I'm going to tell you why, what my thought process was behind that. And, how did I know, right? But I do want to say this. When it comes to trading, I'd rather be rich than right. this is more of a risk management game than it is a predictions game, okay? I mean, obviously, you want to be right, but in all honesty, bro, price is going to go up or it's going to go down. You got a 50-50 chance, okay? So you need to know what it is, what you're going to do if you're wrong, right? Where is your stop loss? That kind of stuff, you know? All right, shout out at Matt. He's got a run. One of the original wave makers in the crew right there. Yeah, so let me give a shout out to the chat one time. One time to the chat right here. You guys been rocking with me. We're growing every week too, by the way, so I appreciate you guys spreading the word. We got more alpha over and over again. Okay, Jesse says, so shout out to Jesse, the first super chat. Appreciate you, man. He said Night is available on Fimex. Okay, if Night's the ticket you want to look at. So we gotta get 10 super chats though, all right? 10 super chats, and we're gonna do a live trade on breakout prop, whatever is the chat's choice. So we got Cervanto in the chat, Jesse, Blockchain Cowboy, what's poppin' Blockchain Cowboy? We got Matt, Edema. Got some people, okay, a King's Mentality. Oh, what's going on? He's active in the Profit Circle for sure. We got, let's see, Matt, Cervanto, Hell Rail. What's going on? Hell Rail in this thing right here. T-Nation doing this thing. Oh, we had a winner, too, in the breakout prop was announced. Actually, I forgot about that. I want to mention that because we had a winner announced in the breakout prop. They won a $100,000 evaluation, and that's pretty dope. And so basically, it was worth about $1,000. And it was someone who was a member of Wavemaker in the Profit Circle. He didn't announce it right away, and then he saw it later. He said the email was in his spam, so I'm glad he got that. So shout out to the Wavemaker who won that as well. We got Kai from Fimex in here. What's going on, Kai? Tuplat, not sure I pronounced that. Let's go. Oh, my God. So listen. Appreciate the chat jumping in here. We got Marlon. Oh, yeah, Marlon. Oh, Marlon was a recipient of a free month of the previous channel as well from last week's. So shout out to Marlon. He got a free month. He's been active in the Profit Circle. And I'm going to be giving away at least one free month for whoever, one of the new people in the group who comes in active and is contributing. I'm going to extend your 1 month free trial for another month and maybe another month after that. If you keep, you keep contributing, boom. You know what I mean? We're going to keep hooking you up and helping out the community. But okay, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, we were in Miami. I was in Miami with Loudmouth, and we were doing it big. It wasn't many crypto folks there, all set in the house. What's going on? All set. And basically, Loudmouth is a gregarious character, man. He's more flamboyant than I am. So we out there doing it big. We got the ladies, we on the stages at the parties and everything like that. I'm like, Loudmouth need a theme song. You know what I'm saying? He need to rock something so he can get on the stage, get on the mic. So that's the song I wrote for him. It's called Let's Go. And, I wrote with him. And, I wrote the words, but we got the idea together. And it's the perfect song for him, and I'm on the song as well. I'm going to show you guys a snippet of that later on in the show, about halfway through. There's not a weekly recap rap, but I'm going to show you a snippet of this new rap. It's called Let's Go with Loudmouth. And a clip, actually, some clips of Art Basel. And, man, have you guys been watching my Instagram? Have you been watching my freaking Instagram? Oh, my God. We went to this fashion show. These women, let me tell you something, man. This ain't a normal situation. I'm getting DMs from women talking about, I'm not a lesbian, but I swear to God. You want to see? I need to post more content on there. I'm trying to work on this music video, but my God. So anyways, I want to go over this trade real quick. I got a lot of stuff I want to go on because, yeah, Raoul Pal was wrong. You know what? I'm going to play that clip. I'm going to play that clip right now of what he said, how he's wrong. And, there's a whole lot of backpedaling going on. So I'm definitely going to I got to speak on it, man. Because one thing I'm always do is keep it real with y'all. You feel me? Like, that's what I'm going to do. And I don't have time to, time is money in this business. Like, I don't have time to be front and talking about what we got. Well, maybe next year we'll get what we want. And then maybe next year. Nah, man. And real traders are held accountable. And that's really the point I'm trying to drive home. These guys, these macro things, they get to be wrong for a year before they find out they're wrong. Then all I do is kick the goalpost down farther. So anyways, I'm going to play that clip so you guys can see what exactly I'm talking about. Here it goes.
You've had this perfect 4-year cycle. And this is where everybody's scratching their heads right now. Is what the hell's going on?
I'm just going to stop it right there real quick.
That's the big question.
I want to stop it right there. We had this perfect 4-year cycle, and that's the big question in the room. Everybody's scratching their head. No, not everybody, bro. Not everybody is scratching their heads, okay? You guys watch all the same shit. You're not actually doing your job. You're not on your jobs. Not everybody was scratching their heads. We called the top here in the Profit Circle. I got the P&Ls to prove it, all right? But I dig it. We're going to let him speak. We're going to let him speak.
You had this perfect 4-year cycle. And this is where everybody's scratching their heads right now. Is what the hell's going on? Has the cycle finished? That's the big question everyone debates all day. And for me, you can see what's happened here. There used to be this perfect 4-year cycle.
Used to be.
And suddenly it's changed.
Suddenly it's changed.
Well, what happened here is we've added an extra year. In 2022, at the beginning of 22, rates were still at 0, and they extended the debt maturity by a year to 5 years. So we've got an extra year in the equation. So all of the debts that need to get rolled in 2026 and not 2025. So that's why we've had less liquidity than we've expected at this point. The banana zone point in the cycle has had less liquidity. I only really found this out over the summer when I redid the maths on all of this.
Oh, he only found it out over the summer.
They've actually changed the structure of liquidity here.
Oh.
So when we change it to the new 5.4 year where the debt maturity is, this is what we're going to get. So again, it gives you an idea that we're probably likely to peak out towards the end of 2026 in terms of liquidity, as opposed to this year. So probabilistically speaking, which is how I think about the world, we've got further to go, and we've got the big liquidity burst to come. We had
okay, so this is interesting to me. All right, so the 4-year cycle, for the record, just to set this straight, that's based on the Bitcoin halving, which happens every 4 years. Okay. Not based upon the liquidity cycle that he's now saying that's really the thing that changed, okay? That's what his argument is. But you realize he's admitting that he was wrong by saying that, all right? Now, my whole thing is we keep platforming these types of folks, and not even to really single him out. It's just a hell of a thing. He basically admits he's wrong and saying, well, it's not. He omits even mentioning the Bitcoin 4-year cycle based upon the halving that happens every 4 years. But now it's a 5th year because of the liquidity cycle, because of the debt and all that kind of stuff. I'm sorry, guys. Like, he doesn't get to be held accountable for this shit. But if we're traders, you guys, you and I in the chat, and we're retail, like, we are held accountable by our bank accounts. You can't trade off that information. You see what I'm saying? Jesse, again, with another super chat. Shout out to Jesse, man. Doing it big out here. Feel like I'm going to do my own. Yeah, exactly. We're going to do it on our own. Stop listening to these people. Another one, Tom Lee. I kind of like Tom Lee, but he's such a perma bull times 10, and you get to be right in the stock market if you're a perma bull, but it don't work that way in crypto, okay? So a person like me, you guys, I've been doing this shit for a long time. I'm 7 days a week full-time in this shit. I'm watching the markets, and I'll tell you what I saw from the beginning. Ethereum and Solana was the one thing, other than Bitcoin, that, Wall Street was trying to adopt and say, this is what Web3 is going to come. You guys got to understand, I'm a blockchain enthusiast. I was really in Web3. I really believe all this shit. And I saw what happened when everything collapsed in 2022. And when they came back, and all it is meme coins and bullshit trying to pump. If you know blockchain technology the way I know it, then you know that it ain't going to be Solana and Ethereum that brings on Web3. Solana's a 100% scam chain. Mev is stealing. And Ethereum is basically debunked in old tech. So if that's what they're thinking is going to drive us into, mass adoption, I'm like, it's not going to happen. So when everything pumped, I shorted the fuck out of it. It's been a year now. It was like December when I shorted most of those coins, and I still got about 40 of them open right now. You guys have seen it. I posted on Twitter. I posted in the group. I'll post it again. And I'm up thousands of percent, 3,500, 4,500% on a lot of these. You guys have seen them. And so, was I an incredible wizard? No. I just saw the markets for what they were instead of all this hype nonsense. He gets to go speak on stage still. Now, by the way, you rewind about to like 2023 or something, they have him talking on a show, and he's like, well, the only money on the internet is Ethereum, and that's the one that we got to invest in and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, it's all nonsense. It doesn't actually show you why prices should go up, And if you know anything about Solana, the inflation is ridiculous. There's no way that could ever be a thing. Ethereum is another one where, the prices and the fees and the gas fees and everything are so unpredictable, you can't run a business operation on that. I'm not saying the perfect blockchain exists. I just know it ain't those two. So that's why I knew. I was like, okay, we're too early still. So all this hype, mostly driven by meme coins, of course, top it all off. This is fake, bro. So I'm just looking and chomping at the bit. After the election and everything pumped, I'm like, this stuff is not real. And that's why I caught the top on so many of those shorts, and I'm still in most of them, And right now, we got a bear market started. Bitcoin peaked at 126. I don't think we're seeing that high that get breached. I will say this: Bitcoin is stronger than a lot of the other coins, and that's the one that I don't really short, but I still do my TA on Bitcoin which is about to lead me to the charts I'm about to show you right now, because that's how I know how to trade. Okay, so like a real trader has to be accountable. So yesterday, not 6 months ago, not a year. I mean, the guy said that he had to reevaluate everything in the summer. In the summer, bro? It took you all the way to summer to realize this shit? Oh, well, I didn't know the liquidity was coming in summer, so now it's a 5-year cycle. Stop, bro. Just stop it. You know what I'm saying? Stop listening to these people. Why do they get to speak on a Solana stage at that? You saw the Solana behind them. I'm sorry, bro. I got to keep it real. Like, they were fucking wrong, and we were fucking right. And somebody got to say it. All right? So, let me show you guys the trade I did yesterday, how I came up with this, right? Because all that macro shit, it's bullshit. It doesn't really matter. You know, it doesn't really matter. You can't make money off of it. I'm here to teach you how to make money. If you don't want to make money, don't be here. You know what I'm saying? Go to someone else's shit where they talk about NFTs or nonsense all day. I don't know. I'm rocking with wave makers who want to get paid. That's the kind of people I'm rocking with. You know what I'm saying? You can stop worshiping these false prophets. I'm trying to teach you how to fish so you can do this shit on your own. You don't even got to listen to me. I'm just showing you, a different perspective here other than, oh, well, there was a cycle and, oh, we got to move the goalposts. That's not how you make money. So here we go. I didn't think Bitcoin was going to pump up in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of bearish right now. It was based upon market cipher B, which is what I lean on first, then my TA up here. All right. So when the weekend started, now this line right here is an indicator called, this indicator is called the CME, Bitcoin CME gaps, and it basically just draws a line when the CME gap starts, right? I don't know why they started. It's like a glitch, like this is like some line. They didn't used to do that, but basically that's where the weekend started. Maybe they changed it on purpose to kind of show you the exact candle, but this is where the weekend starts. So this was Bitcoin, right? It was going sideways as hell, right? After it made this big tank on Friday. So I have my list in the profit circle of bullish bearish tickers. You guys can follow me. You kind of know what some of them are. One of the ones I've been trading is APT. Atom was another one. There's plenty of bearish tickers though, right? So when the weekend starts and I see Bitcoin going flat, and we always talk about this, right? The degens like to pump stuff on the weekend. You know what I mean? Oh, shout out to the super chats, Jesse and Blockchain Cowboy. Appreciate y'all right there doing your thing, man. I really do appreciate it. Let me make sure I give all these likes. And we will do some live trading of you guys' choice, since you guys are the ones doing all the tipping out there. So I appreciate all the super chats. So real quick, right? This is what I'm looking at. Bitcoin flat, but now Ethereum Classic was pumping. Atom was pumping. APTs. These are some of my favorite shit coins to short. They're not leading the market to the promised land, okay? They're just getting a little run up. People basically trying to front run maybe a weekend pump, which is possible, right? They could have shot up higher. Even me, that's why I got my alert set here. Maybe I would average down. Maybe I would have cut my losses and waited and watched and re-entered. But I said, look, man, this is not real. This orange line is where I enter on APT and Atom. I called this out in the future trades, and I also called out WIF and Ethereum Classic. And as you can see, when Bitcoin didn't pump anymore, in fact it fell, they're gonna follow it back down again. All right, it's inevitable. Like, they're gonna drop. You know what I'm saying? And then and I woke up this morning and I took my profit. In fact, I could have held these a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? And it's really that simple. You go long strength and you short weakness. So the coins that get over their skis and are just dangling out there, and Bitcoin's going down, right? Bitcoin's dropping, but these ones went up. What do we call that? The Wile E. Coyote trade. Right here. All right? That's that Wile E. Coyote trade. And now you guys have been rocking me for a while. I have the Wile E. Coyote trade. It's one of the best ways to make money because these coins are not special, bro. This is not like all of a sudden Cosmos Atoms is going to lead the market to the problem. Like, no, bro. It's just a trading vehicle at this point, And again, I don't say this with no hate in my heart. I got a big bag of Cosmos Atoms spot that I'm like, I don't know what my average cost is. Probably 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so red, it chopped up to the game. It's not that I disagree that I hate it. It was supposed to be a layer 0. Again, I understand blockchain. You know what I'm saying? Man, Jesse doing a thing. Appreciate you, Jesse. So it's like, we are going to always see these types of pump and dumps, especially on these types of coins. This is not going to catch fire. It's not the new hotness. So certain coins dance to their own tune. These ones mostly follow Bitcoin until they decide to have an extra pump for no reason, get over their skis, and you see they always come back down. Whereas some of the newer ones like Aster and Hype and stuff, you might have to, they kind of play with a different cycle than the normal Bitcoin ebb and flow, okay? But, listen, trade the coins you're used to trading. We were talking about this yesterday in Profit Circle, the day before yesterday, I think Friday. Like, trade the ones you used to trade. Now, Blueberry's talking about, bread and butter is Bitcoin, Ethereum. Well, bread and butter is, I think he's scalping the NASDAQ, but Bitcoin, Ethereum is the one he's trading. I'm like, hell, stick to the tickers you know. There's nothing wrong with that. So I got my short list of shit coins that I like to have, and I put them here, and I talk about them in the group, and I call them out in real time. So, of course, Bitcoin fell. These fell. This one here, Ethereum Classic, Adam. Easy money. You know what I'm saying? So, that's pretty much, I don't have to be a genius at TA or anything like that to even understand that general principle. Now, granted, there is some technical analysis on the price chart. Now, first of all, I'm looking at down here, market cipher B. I'd look at all of the time frames. So here's the 4 hour, right? We caught this green hour, 4 hour dot, went up. You start zooming in. I was like, man, this might still go higher, but it ran. So then after down here, I'm looking up here. It ran right back to this support and resistance zone, right? You can see this is clearly a support and resistance zone. If you guys are new to support and resistance, it's basically a place where price bounces off. You can see it multiple times. It bounced off of here, right? And it was similar on this ticker as well. Same idea. So when price bounced all the way back up to there, and then I zoom into the 1 hour, and I can see it slowing down a little bit. Right now, we're kind of going sideways here because it caught my attention here. It ran back here, which would be the resistance zone, kind of bounced off. I didn't get the perfect top of this. I think I entered like here. I think after this candle started coming down. By this point, I would have zoomed in on the 10-minute chart, and I was looking at probably, let's see, I was probably here when I entered, I want to say. So I was probably looking at this 10-minute red dot. Also, no, you know what? I remember now. On APT, there was a red dot. Not this one. It was there was a red dot. So maybe it was this one. It might have been this one. I think this is the one I originally entered on here. And there was a red dot here. Yeah, noon. Yeah, red dot here, and that was why I entered. Price did bounce a little bit, but we never got another green dot. So my basic premise is usually entering on the 1 hour red dot on market cipher B. And if I'm going to scalp, I'll zoom into the 10-minute. In this case, I wasn't scalping. It was a little weekend swing. We'll call it overnight swing, 24-hour swing. That's what I was looking for, and I ended up getting it. And basically, it ran to here, which was resistance. Now, if it broke through, I had decisions to make, right? So, and this is important. I didn't just know that this was going to happen because I called it out again. I mentioned this in the Profit Circle. I said, look, what if Bitcoin decides to pump, right? Because Bitcoin easily could have done this weekend and pumped back to here. That's not impossible. If that had happened, then these ones would have had another pump, right? And so then we said, well, then I have to reestablish, okay, well, how high are they going to go? Well, I would be watching it, right? I'd probably get stopped out, probably about this hash line. This is about the zone. Maybe I would have had it here. I don't know where I would have had it. I would have got stopped out, though, right? I would have waited. I would have watched. I'm still bearish. I would have waited for something to roll over. But again, I'd be watching Bitcoin, and I would have seen where Bitcoin slowed down. Probably would have slowed down here because that's like its support and resistance range. And then I would have gone ahead and then re-entered my short. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew that this was eventually going to happen. In this case, I didn't have to do that. Bitcoin dropped, and I just closed out my trades this morning, and I won the trade. But I was first looking at the momentum waves down here, and then I was seeing the TA of when it ran right to this range right here. So that was the basic thought process, and it's damn near the same thing on all these tickers. You get what I mean? You could choose whatever one you want to choose. A lot of these are running in the same type of deal. Now, if you're looking at other tickers that are dancing to their own tune, as I like to call it, then either A, you don't trade them, right? There's no rule that says you have to trade these other tickers. So either A, you don't trade them, or B, you have some sort of thesis that is like, generally, I like to look relative to what Bitcoin is doing. That's kind of my general thesis on any of these coins, because Bitcoin is like the bellwether, it's like the index, and everything else kind of follows it. So that's basically the premise of how I won those trades. I just want to talk that over. Now, Santos, which was this one here, this was called out in the Profit Circle. And again, this is where having some blockchain knowledge, just in technology. Again, I hadn't heard this one, so shout out Blueberry for calling this one out. He said it was a soccer team. Well, we've traded soccer teams in the past, all right? And if you've traded these coins that are like, so this was, here we go. Looking at the 8-hour chart. Let me pull it back up. My bad. So this is Santos. What's going on? See y'all in the Discord. Yeah, so shout out Servanto. Yeah, the Discord is where it's popping, y'all. I'm in there 7 days a week. I'm looking at the chat right now with everybody in there. And let's see. We got, new folks. So 5863 Carlitos, super cool song. Keep singing your song all day. Also, great job. I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you like the music, man. I put a lot of thought and effort into the lyrics, y'all, so I appreciate you guys liking it, enjoying it, bumping it, sharing it. And by the way, reminder, like this video. I'm giving away $1,000 if this video gets 100 likes. So tell someone to come like this video. Whoever's most active in the chat is going to get $1,000 if we get to 100 likes in this next hour. So real quick, back to the charts. Santos, right. So I'm up 400, and so I have that here on Fimex. Let me show you guys Fimex. So I got Fimex. Santos only had 3 trades open on this Fimex that I'm using for the group. I have another Fimex account. That's where I keep my bigger long-term positions, my Giga Shorts and things like that. But these are the ones I'm trading with the community right now. So Santos here, and I'm holding all 3 of these as Giga Shorts. And maybe maybe ZEC is a risky Giga Short. I don't care. I'm still holding it as a Giga Short. I don't believe none of this shit. So the point is, basically, these coins went up. Let me go back to here. They went up to what I think is the peak. And Giga Short means I'm just holding them until they get delisted. All right. So Blueberry called this out. Right. This is October 10th dump. If you guys been around crypto since October, you remember this crazy dump. It even started to dump more, and then for whatever reason, I don't really know why. I think it's some sort of systemic buying. Somebody, I think everything is manipulation. It's a soccer team. I don't know about their schedule. I don't know about their season starting. I don't know if their owner has a lot of money. I don't know who's promising their fan base what. I just know that this shit ain't going up forever, okay? It always dumps. It's always a pump and dump. In fact, we can go back in history just even on this ticker and see where it started, okay? This is a downward trajectory ticker, right? It had these little things. I don't know if they won a championship or what, okay? But after it dropped this much on October 10th, I'm like, okay, I think this is a good call out. So he was a little bit early calling it out, but that's okay. We call him out early all the time. He's noticing this upward trend. He's like, I said, once you told me this was a soccer team, my mouth started salivating, right? So I entered 2 positions here and here. So I have an average price somewhere around here. And, it's dropping and I'm up 500% on it, at this point. And it's one of the ones that I think at least we get back down to here. But I said alert here. Maybe I will take profit when we get. This is like a clear line of support and resistance. Whatever. You could take profit. Maybe it's not a full Giga Short till it's delisted. It's just like this is not going to lead crypto to the promised land, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like this ticker is a shit coin. You know what I mean? And if you know blockchain technology, you know that this is just for fun of it or whatever you want to call it. But people are going to lose money. Whoever invested way up here for sure. And, as a trader, the market, I take what the market gives me. And I have no reason to believe that this strength is going to come back, right? It ran right back to the top of this support and resistance right here and stopped, right? You know what I mean? Risk versus reward, I think this is a good short. And that's what that one is, this one that we were looking at here when I opened the show. See, I'm up 478% on that. On my ZK, I'm up 1,400% right now on that. Let me go to Fimex. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm up 1,400% right. That's not a lot of money. I didn't put a lot of money. There's more a point to be made. ZK pumped at the same time as ZEC. My face is blocking it on the left here. This middle one is ZEC, and this one is ZK. And I'm like, guys, this is fake. You know what I'm saying? Zcash is like, I don't know why it became the hype. It was the only coin that had alt season, it seemed like. And I'm like, I'm shorting it. You can call it a spite short, whatever you want to call it. But I'm like, I think I caught close enough to the top. I'll show it on Trading View. So you see, I'm entered at 705, right, up here. I think I got stopped once or twice in the web, but I got, I'm in now, and I'm just going to write it back down. I don't think it's going any higher, period. When this bear market comes, I used to hold Zcash way back since 2021. This seemed like a huge pump back then. This pump is ridiculous. This is not leading crypto to the promised land. People are trying to say they're selling their Bitcoin and buying Zcash. Not going to happen. And that's kind of how I approach Giga Shorts. All right, will it come all the way back down to here? It might take a while to get all the way back down to there. I'm guessing, my guess is that we kind of see back to this kind of range, down here maybe. This kind of, I'm trying to see below that, to be honest with you, as a type of support and resistance range. We'll call it here. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm seeing. Maybe I'll take profit when we get there. You'll see. Depends on where we are in the cycle. Like I said, I think we've already seen a top. So I'm not worried about holding it. ZK was completely fake, right? This pump was outrageous. Let's see what it says my average price on it. ZK is. My average price on ZK is size. Oh, my entry 686. 686. So here's my entry here for ZK. I think I shorted this. This is an old one from over here. So yeah, I mean, it caught this pump up. Listen, this is all the way back down. I'm up 1,400%. Maybe I should take profit on this one, But you know what? No, I don't think it's going to pump again. I think that was his last fake hype pump, and it's going down. And that's basically my point here. My premise is that crypto has a lot of BS, man. There is a lot of BS in this game, and you got to be a realist about it. And as traders, we have actual real-life consequences. Like, we're going to make money or we're going to lose money. I can't do the Raoul Pal shit where I just say, oh, well, you know what? We got in 2026, the market will peak. Just because the liquidity cycle, like, he doesn't even really explain why. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if he's right about the liquidity cycle and when debt comes due and stuff, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden Bitcoin's got to pump and run to that and then peak, because this is the real reason why. This is the reason why, and I posted this yesterday on Tom Crown's post. He's been making some funny Twitter posts lately. And I said, you guys, the market is a self-fulfilling prophecy, all right? The reason I was right this whole cycle, and I'm going to go back to the chart actually and show you. The reason why I was right this whole cycle, because markets are self-fulfilling prophecies. If people buy, they go up, and if people sell, they go down. This has got a lot of lines on it. Let me make the cleaner one for when I zoom out here. Oh, I have to go back to that one. So Tom Crown called out, I literally wrote it on my chart. Bull run ends 150 days from July 2nd per Tom Crown. So on July 2nd is when he called out that this line would end here. This was December 2nd, okay? Now, here's the thing that people fail to remember and acknowledge. Bitcoin had an all-time high before the halving, okay? So when Bitcoin has an all-time high before the halving, that was the first time it ever happened. And it happened about what? A couple of months, 2 months before the halving. And I kind of been saying all cycles, like, things are happening earlier. Why? Because everyone thinks they know the 4-year cycle. 4-year cycle, listen, the 4-year cycle, that. Bitcoin dominance. Everyone thinks they know. And then Wall Street thinks they know, and Wall Street has the money to pump Bitcoin this cycle. And so they're all front running. So what happens? If everyone says that tomorrow our price is going to $200, so we buy it today at $100, eventually it's going to get to $200 today. And by tomorrow, it ain't going to be $200. You know what I'm saying? Markets are self-fulfilling prophecy, which is why I'm never worried about some AI bot coming in and doing all this shit, because it doesn't work that way. Like, if you could predict the future and then everybody predicted it, that future wouldn't be the future anymore, right? If you ever seen a time travel movie or whatever the case may be, right? Like, or in the Matrix, right? He knocks over the vase and she goes, don't worry about the vase. Excuse me, let me start over again. He walks in the room in the kitchen with the oracle. She says, don't worry about the vase. He looks over to see what she's talking about. He knocks over the vase, and the vase falls. And he goes, oh, sorry. And she goes, I told you don't worry about it. And he looks at her kind of crazy. And what does she say? What's really going to cook your noodle is you're going to ask yourself, if I hadn't told you not to worry about it, would you have knocked over the vase? You see what I'm saying? She made it a self-fulfilling prophecy. You get what I'm saying? By telling him don't worry about it, that's why he looked and knocked it over. That's how the markets work. All right? So when we were 2 months early on the all-time high before the halving came, everyone's talking about super cycle this and all that. I'm like, no, we'll probably just be 2 months early on the peak. We'll probably just have the bear market start 2 months early, okay? That's basically how I was looking at it. And I was fucking right, and all these other jackasses online with 1 million followers were fucking wrong. And it matters, okay? It matters. Because all the people who bought Bitcoin at 125,000 thinking it was going to 250,000 listening to Tom Lee and shit are fucking wrecked right now, all right? So join the profit circle. We got real ones in there. People not afraid to short. And I've been saying it all cycle. Since early last year, I said, learn to trade in both directions. Learn to trade in both directions. Learn to trade in both directions. Because I knew this was coming. I knew this shit was coming. All right? So now, we're early here by what? About 2 months. Okay? This was the last peak, October 7th. And here we are in, December 2nd, right? 2 months. I mean, bruh, again, I'm not paid to be right. I'm paid to manage my risk. But, like, that is where your bias is going to come from. You have to have a thesis and a bias. And then if you're wrong, you manage you cut your losses. But we were shorting up here. And if you don't believe it, look at my P&Ls on Ethereum. All right? So that's the type of thing that, like, I need people to know, if you're going to watch me, I want to make sure you're making money. I'm just straight up telling people, unfollow these motherfuckers who costing you money. Just because he talks on a stage or he got 1 million followers and shit, they don't have no special insights. They don't know nothing you don't know. All right? You're going to learn for yourself. You're going to do your own research. this psychology, here's another one, this one here. We're here, not here. People, yes, of course we're in denial right now, thinking that 2026 is going to be 200,000. Come on, bro. I guess my point is this. Please have a seat. You know what I'm saying? Like, your advice is no longer needed here. You know what I mean? You were, in fact, wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is another chart here. You guys see this chart here? Altcoin season is supposed to start here. And I always wondered, like Bitcoin Dominance's altcoin season charts, I'm like, you guys, they're not predicting the price movement of your ticker. All right? These charlatans get away with saying these, general statements, these weirdo charts that go all this time. This was wrong too. You know what I mean? If you've seen this one floating around. Why in hell, just because Bitcoin drops, does that mean altcoins are going to go up? If you've been watching this whole cycle, we know the number one thing is this right here. I'm going to show you right now. The number one thing this whole cycle is this right here. The NASDAQ. The NASDAQ 100. This is what I'm watching. This is what's been controlling this whole cycle. We've seen one of the biggest runs in the history of the stock market happen since we had the bottom of April here. This is one of the sharpest increases ever in the stock market. Literally ever, okay? This is the weekly chart. This is a super straight up chart. Eventually, this shit got to slow down. But what happened is crypto started slowing down sooner. And I knew all cycle that crypto was weak relative to the NASDAQ. I'm like, look, you guys have been screaming it all cycle. One red day in the NASDAQ and crypto gets wrecked. Sure enough, that's what keeps on happening. You get these big red candles in the NASDAQ, crypto just tumbles. So I'm like, okay, I always start by looking at the NASDAQ first, right? Now we got a red dot on the daily on the NASDAQ. That don't even happen that often, right? I mean, there's a pretty big candle here. So the question is, the NASDAQ likes to have a little bounce. And, I've been calling the open. I called the open correctly on multiple times this week. I'm hitting stuff while I'm traveling on the airport. I won trades, I'm flying back from Miami. And first I'm looking here. Then I'm looking at Bitcoin. And then after that, I'm looking at the altcoins that I think are moving in the general direction of Bitcoin, but they're relatively bullish or bearish. All right. Oh, shout out to the chat. We got Julie in the chat. How you doing, Julie? Got some new ladies. Nice to get some women in the chat. Appreciate that. We definitely try to be diverse here on the Profit Circle and also on the Come Up with your boy Cassius Cuvée. So thanks for joining the group. And, right now what we're doing is we're getting ready to take some requests on what tickers, if we want to trade something live in breakout props. I can do a live trade for the group and what I'm looking at. This is breakout prop, but I'll do the TA on, of course, on TradingView first. So let's see real quick. Before we do that, because we only got 20 more minutes here, I want to show you guys a clip of a sneak peek here for those who've been rocking with me this long. Sneak peek of, it's not even really a sneak peek of the music video. It's more of a sneak peek of the hook of the song with me and Loudmouth called Let's Go. And we filmed the video in Art Basel in Miami. So I want to show you guys a sneak peek of that one time. Let me pull this up very quick because we had a lot of fun out there in Art Basel. And I highly recommend going to in real life events and hanging out if you haven't done that before. We always have a great time, man. And holla at your boy Cassius Cuvée when we're out there. We kidnapped this dude Harry. He's actually from the Bay, actually, and we just brought him around with us and we turned him out here to the moon, right? So check this out. The song is called Let's Go. This is just a little sneak peek of kind of stylistically of what it might look like, right?
We high.
Let's go. 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 Let's go.
We high.
That's it. Sneak peek right there. You feel me? Let's go. You feeling that one, Julie? Right on. So that's the one right there. We're going to, it's perfect for Loudmouth, man. That's his catchphrase anyways. And so we can go live, man, go in real life on stage and stuff. You saw him on stage in one of those clips there. This music video is going to be a fun one, man. Let me tell you right there. So definitely we're going to do that. T-Nation in the house, right? Let's go. All right. I think we got enough super chats. I appreciate y'all with the super chats right up here. We got Jesse, Blockchain Cowboy, supporting your boy Cassius Cuvée. What do you guys want me to trade? Can we do it on breakout prop? Let's do it on breakout prop. What ticker do you want me to trade on breakout prop? I saw a couple requests. We got is SPX on breakout prop? Let me see if SPX is on breakout prop. Real quick, let me pull it up here. I know I have SPX on my chart somewhere. If not, I'll just pull it up real quick. SPX is that meme coin, right? Let me see if it's on breakout prop. I don't think it's on breakout prop. What are the ones you guys want me to trade? Let me see. You're in grass on breakout prop? Grass, Grass. Jesse, which one you want me to trade on breakout prop? You gave the most super chats. And shout out. So yesterday, too, I was on a Twitter Spaces. They played a lot of my songs. So shout out to everybody who was on Twitter Spaces yesterday. Jesse brought him up on stage. So he did his thing. Appreciate everybody who fucks with Jesse. Like, he's a good moderator, and he always look out for everybody. So definitely show some love to Jesse. He's doing his thing. So I appreciate you, Jesse. He came on stage yesterday. He does me and Miss Teen Crypto, Randy Hipper, because we played the song Bitcoin Bestie. You gotta love it. What ticker you want me to trade on here? Jesse said, let's go. Grass? Okay. I've never traded grass. I don't know nothing about it. So let's see what grass is doing. This is a good on breakout prop, really? It's not sure. Let me refresh this page real quick. I think I just need to refresh the page, actually. Let me see. Now, I will say this about breakout prop. It'll start to lag on you. Before you do anything, it's best to refresh it one time. I will say that. Oh, here it is. All right, grass. All right, let's take a look at grass. So this is the 1 minute chart, right? We're going to do this going sideways as hell. Let me pull it up in a trading view real quick so we could do it like this if you want. When I'm trading, basically this is what it looks like. It doesn't fit great on the screen here, but I've got trading view on one screen, and I've got the platform that I'm trading on the other screen, whether it be FIMEX or breakout prop. And just to keep a reminder that the invite code here on breakout prop, this is a discount code on breakout prop. Anytime you purchase an eval, you save money by using this discount code, GGRF7W. So definitely use that. It's free money, right? So also breakout prop, by the way, real quick, they're changing their fee structure, which is pretty interesting update. They have those new features, turbo and something else, and you can get more money up to $200,000, but I think they're lowering the price of those. So again, use the discount, but they're also changing some of the rules. It looked like they're making the daily drawdown 3% on classic. So anyways, I think I need to make a video on that to show the new rules and the differences, and maybe even try pass an eval on one of those other accounts too. It's been hella busy here since I got back. I got to do the music video and everything like that, but I'm going to definitely give it a try because I would like to see how it feels. I mean, I'm assuming my strategy is going to work the same because the main point of my strategy is risk management, so I want to be protecting my downside. Okay, so here we go. Oh, grass has been bearish. So this is a daily chart of grass. You can see it on the bottom here, but I'll make it bigger real quick. All right, so Jesse and Blockchain Cowboy is grass. You guys bullish on grass or why grass? What are you trading on grass? Let me just look. I mean, clearly to me, I mean, I don't really know if I need to draw lines. This is a downtrend, okay? This is a shit coin. One thing I like about October 10th is it always gives us this, this kind of like a benchmark if we wanted to start doing TA, like what has price done since here relative to Bitcoin, relative to the other coins that are its peers, that trade along with it. And you guys, just quick background, I was trading stocks a long time before I was trading crypto. And in stocks, there's a lot of terminology. They say it's peers, right? So like a banking stock is going to trade with other banks. And, we measure PE ratio. Like if something is expensive in stocks, we mean that their PE ratio is higher or lower than the average. So when I say peers in crypto, it doesn't mean we don't have sectors like they do in the stock market. But I kind of just mean the coins have been trading with it. Meme coins or the RWA coins or, AI coins. These types of things. Are they newer coins? Are they dino coins? You can classify the groups however you want to. But basically, I don't know anything about grass. So this is pure technical analysis on the charts and what I'm seeing right now, okay? So I'm just going to kind of go generally by, because I got a long list of tickers here. I got about 200 tickers on this list. It's long. So I'm kind of go by based upon what's happened since October 10th, all right? That's kind of my starting point here. So since we had the big crash on October 10th, what has this ticker been doing? So it's been sideways to down with a squeeze right here on the 20th of November. I have no idea in particular why. One cool thing about TradingView that you can actually see news right here, and I do actually read it sometimes if there is news. There may not be any news on this ticker, actually. I don't. Oh, here it is. Ticket holder call. Oops. It's just a lag, I guess. Ticket holder call. This was on November 18th. WinLabs lockup extended. I don't know if this news affected price or not. I don't think so. This is November 19th. So something actually, this one must have. I don't know what a ticker holder call was, but basically it was in the news, it pumped and it dumped, and that was probably the end of that news. We've been flat ever since. So now we're going to start zooming in. Let's say the 4 hour. Grass, I don't know anything about grass. So let's just look at the weekend. Wow. So it's actually bullish on this. It's sideways choppy as hell. It's pumping on this weekend. I don't know particularly why. So, okay. So this is what I'm going to look at right here. AI, DPIN, Polychain Capital Portfolio. Okay. It's just in the Solana ecosystem. Okay. So it's pumping, but it's within its range. So first thing we want to do is kind of look at support and resistance, right? So, the top of this wick, somewhere about here, I'm looking at, you can draw this another way. Here, this is what I do. I click on this. I want to click on the plus, get a line. Okay, so I'm going to draw a horizontal line. For me, I make support and resistance white. What's going on here? All right, so I make support and resistance white. So first, because this is not a ticker been trading. So first, you want to draw some support and resistance first, right? This is the recent support and resistance. You look back, you see it kind of kicked around here. This is actually, it's making sense, right? I didn't even see back here when I first drew it, right? I just was kind of looking here, and you see this is somewhat of a support and resistance line right here. It makes sense that these wicks came and touched this. On the bottom, it's a little more clear, right? It's just keep on bouncing off of here, and you kind of tell yourself, okay, well, this is pretty much in a trading range. Is this showing up? Why is that showing up? Okay, there. It's in a trading range. And, okay. So are we near? We're near the top of the trading range. So what you might do, just off a quick TA, I might want to put an alert like above. Let's see. I'm going to put an alert like right at the top of maybe this candle here, right? If it breaks above this, I would want to take a look at it and tell myself, do I want to short right now, right? But I promised you guys I'd open a trade, so let me. Oops, I put two of them. I don't know why TradingView is lagging for me right now. The TradingView doesn't usually lag, but anyways, let me erase one of these. So I just put an alert there because that would be where I would start to look at it to maybe see a short. Like what I want to know what else is going on in the market. If this trades with Solana, I also probably want to look at Solana and see if it does trade with Solana. Just because it's in the Solana ecosystem doesn't necessarily mean it'll trade with Solana directionally. But let's take a look at Solana real quick just to see what Solana's doing. So Solana's down. Solana's kind of following Bitcoin. So when you're trading a ticker like grass, it's dancing to its own tune. Looking at other tickers might distract you. You get what I'm saying? Hawk to a coin still a thing? I don't think so, T-Nation. Okay, so now, blockchain cowboys, right? So red dot on the 1 hour and just printed one on the 10 minute. Okay, so I'm looking at it here. I'm looking at some high wicks. For whatever reason, this is one of them ones, right? We're Sunday, right? We get the Sunday pump and then the Monday dump. Is that a potential? Potentially, yes, right? It got the real big pump on Saturday and it kept going even though other stuff dumped, right? So that's that Wile E. Coyote we like to talk about, right? That's the Wile E. Coyote trade. Like, it's right here. It's Wile E. Coyote. It doesn't know it's supposed to fall, right? It's right now. It's doing the Wile E. Coyote. It's like, why hasn't it fallen? It doesn't know that the rest of the market fell and it's going to wake up and it's going to fall too, right? That's probably the premise that Blockchain Cowboy is looking at. So that's the 4 hour. This is the reason why Blockchain Cowboy, I'm looking at this 4 hour because I'm looking at this flat ass wave, and that's not promising for a short yet. A lot of times when I see these flat ass waves, they'll do one of these and then the wave might be flat, kind of, and then whoop, and then price goes higher. That being said, I'm not so sure that's going to happen on this particular ticker. So sure, let's zoom in on the 1 hour. I mean, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Right now, it's still going up. You know what I mean? I've got this right here. It's still going up. It's not going down yet. I don't see it. There's not a red dot on the 1 hour on my screen. Did you see a 1 hour red dot, you said? I don't see a 1 hour red. What did you say? I don't see a 1 hour red dot here. Right here, it's still green. Maybe it was there. It may have been there. You know how I can say it? Why I say it maybe it been there is because, let me get this on the screen, that little indentation right there, maybe it was there and it disappeared. I don't know. Maybe this, I don't know. I'm not sure. It disappeared. Okay, he says it disappeared. And that can happen. So the 1 hour red dot had not printed yet. We're sitting right at this little level of it. Doesn't want to go any higher then. Right? If we go back over to breakout prop, this is about as choppy as it gets. I mean, it's nothing. You guys are picking a ticker that's kind of weird. There's not like it doesn't want to move right now. Like this ain't one I don't think it's going to do this right now, right? It could just turn around and fall, but what reason do we have? So let's zoom into the 10 minute. We do have a 10 minute red dot right here, right? If we're going to short, that's promising. It's still only a 10 minute. Well, my preference would be to wait, to be honest with you, right? You don't have to rush into a trade, my preference would be to wait on this. So that the scalping strategy I'd be doing would be if we had a 1 hour red dot and then we got this 10-minute red dot, I would enter the short here. This ticker is not really playing by the rules though, right? This is hella flat. And then we got some choppy but still flat. Now, do I think that it's necessarily going to do a crazy pump past this? I don't. So this is what you can do. Let's say if we were going to enter a short right here, I got to do risk management, right? Oh, so Tuplatano says, what is the indicator of the red dot? Are you the one in the profit circle who asked me about that, by the way? Let's see. Yeah, it's Market Cipher B. So Market Cipher is an indicator made by my man Crypto Face. And, oh yeah, he's the one in the profit. He's in the profit. So yes. So it's an indicator on the oscillator. The oscillator down here is where you have things like the RSI, things like that. And the blue waves are momentum waves. The dot comes when they're saying momentum has rolled over. Basically, that means when this light blue wave right here, let me make it a little bit bigger. The light blue wave here, make it a lot bigger actually. So this light blue wave crosses the dark blue wave, right? They're like a middle blue right here, right? You see there's a dark blue wave when it's going down and a light blue wave is going up. Once it actually crosses, it prints it shows a red dot. When the candle closes, it'll print and this red dot will stay there forever. And it's different on every time frame, okay? So I'm using those a lot to determine the momentum, which does not tell me price, but it tells me direction. And it's the reason why I like it is consistent. So if you guys watch other YouTubers and shit, there's a billion indicators, right? I have 10 of them up here, and you see most of them are turned off. Most of that shit is noise. I'm going to start doing beginner classes. I think Wednesday webinars. I need to get a couple things set up first. I'm trying to grow my Facebook. So, by the way, if you guys can like my Facebook business page, it's called Cassius Cuvée Trading. And that's where I'm going to be. I think I'm going to broadcast webinars on there. I'm trying to grow the Facebook because you can kind of engage with people better than on YouTube. And so I just kind of started that one. It's less than a month old. So the more activity I get, the better it'll grow at the beginning. So I appreciate that. And it's niche down. You know, I'm Cassius Cuvée. I got music videos and a lot of other stuff. This one is specifically for trading. It's called Cassius Cuvée Trading. So if you follow me on Facebook, make sure you like that page or you follow that Facebook business page. There's going to be more niche trading content on there. And then eventually I'll do the webinars and I'll go over things more in detail about the basics for anybody who's new to trading. I got to start doing that before the end of this month, before the end of this year. So anyways, what we're looking at here, what I would be hoping for is that when this starts to roll over, we're going to see a red dot here. Now, you can see this is not like a guarantee, right? We look right here on this 1 hour red dot. It's not like a guarantee price is going to dump. That doesn't mean that, okay? Especially on a weekend, weird stuff happens. What it does mean, though, is like the upward momentum has ended, right? We went flat for a while here. Now, it didn't drop, but at least like going long here is like I'm not going to fight a 1 hour red dot and go long right here. That's unlikely to happen. You know what I'm saying? So we finally, we had another wave. Green here, boom, went up. Red dot here, down a little bit. So it's bullish, right? And that's why I looked at this 4 hour first. We're still technically on a green dot on the 4 hour. We're still going up. Clearly, we got a trading range here. I would like to get this alert and then dollar cost average into some sort of a short and bet on this range here. That's kind of what I would do, considering that I don't think this is really trading along with Bitcoin. I think it's kind of doing its own thing. Entering short right here is not, to me, advisable. Now, if you wanted to, for a gun to my head, I had to do a short, right? Thank you, Jesse, for putting the link in there too. What I would do is you got to do risk management. So we're going to go over here to breakout prop, right? We're going to open up a short here. So first thing on breakout prop, you got to pick how many lots. One lot is 17 cents. So we want to get a little bit more than that. I got $122,000 in here I could trade with. I'm up 22K on this account, but and I'm kind of just using it for the show and stuff, so I'm not cashing out. But basically, this is a $100,000 breakout prop account. So, I can afford to put a little bit of money on it. And, $100 is not that big of a deal. $166. So 1,000 lots on this one is $166 position. It's really not that much. In this case, we'll call, we do a market or a limit order. You see, here's the spread. It's going to show you basically no big deal. So let's just say I'm not even worried about it. I'm going to send this order, right? We'll send this order. I can now go in. Come on. Everything is slow. Oh, why my internet's so slow right now? I'll refresh this in a minute. If you're about to do a trade in breakout prop, refresh it every time. The more charts you have open too, the slower it'll go. So we're in this one. Where is the position? Oh, it's a limit order. Sorry, it didn't trigger. It's just a limit. So I had I'm on the 1 minute chart here. So I was like one, but it dropped right when I was doing that, right? You could see each unit here. The white is showing you like each unit is one little thing here. So I actually didn't trigger yet. But if it triggers, so we double click on this, right? So what is my stop loss, right? That's the first thing I'm going to do is see the stop loss. Well, if I look back up here on trading view, right? My stop loss, my stop loss is this white line. Like I for sure, I don't want to take a big loss on that. But let's see how much money that is, right? 3, 4, 5, 6 happens to be 3, 4, 5, 6 is where the stop loss is. Let me go back to breakout prop. So for sure. And maybe I'll get out sooner than that, but 3, 4, 5, 6, it's only a $13 loss, bro. I can afford that, right? So I put that on, so now that's in. So if this triggers and goes up here, worst case scenario, we get stopped there. So in a case like this, if I wanted to enter, I would like a better entry than where we are right now. I don't think we're going straight down from here. That's where this, you can't see it on this one. That's where this dotted line alert comes in. So let's say I want to add, I kind of want a dollar cost average in this to see if we catch that scam wick up before it comes down. This is at 3388. So I'm going to come here and I'll do a bigger position than the $166. I'll do 3 times big. This is where I really want to enter. And I'll say, excuse me, it's a limit order and it's at 3388. 3388. And the same stop loss. Now, breakout prop, it's hedge mode. There's always going to be separate trading. Oh, let me pull this up here. It's always going to be separate trading. So each one of these is 2 separate things. It doesn't average them like Fimex. So you got to set a stop loss on both of them. That's very, very important, okay? You got to do it on both. So if we did that, it's in this order. Now you can see what it looks like, right? That's not. I did the wrong thing. I did the stop loss at the same price as the. That's not going to do. Same price as the entry. I'm not paying attention here. All right. That's the entry. Stop loss is going to be the same as the other one. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would lose $20. So this one, even though it's higher because it's 3 times the position, I'd lose $20 here, and the other one I would lose. What was it? $13. All right. Not a big deal. But there's more than one way to calculate that, right? Everything is relative. But let's just say, what is my take profit, right? How do I make money, right? We want to know the risk versus reward ratio here. So if this one triggers, so back to the TA, we're going to look on here. My gut is telling me we're in a trading range here on this one, right? So my take profit is somewhere down here with this blue line where the weekend line is. That's a kind of like a good support and resistance range, right? So I'll put a little alert right here. What was that? A little bit above the line, wants to fill this little gap, 3106. So now we come back to breakout prop, and I'm going to put in the order here. Yeah, 3106. And how much would that be? $21. So if my projected loss is $13 and my projected profit is $21, that's not even quite a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. It's a pretty safe trade. A lot of traders wouldn't even take that. They'd probably want to make a little bit more money. But keep in mind, right here is not my that's not my real go-to entry. To me, I'm trying to catch this entry up here. So when I put 3106 on this one, it's $84. And so that's so 20, that's now a 4-to-1 ratio right there, right? So 20, 40, 60, 80, right? That's better than 4-to-1. So now basically the average of these two, my entry would be like here. My entry would be like here, and then my take profit would be here. That's the trade that's like worth the money, right? That's going to be a 3-to-1 risk to reward trade, more or less. And so now let's just say I can do it on market. I can do it on Trading View. The only reason I don't use this ticker, use this widget is just because I'm kind of lazy. I just do it fast, but it is a good widget. So let's just see. We're going to figure out. I'm not going to know the exact math if I average these unless I actually do the math. Oops, this is a long. We want a short, so come here. Long as we want a short position here. So let's see. I just know ballpark, right? Because it was 3-to-1. I know that the entry, if these both trigger, would probably be about here. And so this is what you do. You pull this down to where our take profit was here. Our stop loss is at this line. And we can see now that the risk to reward ratio is, it's about 3-to-1. Yep. So my math was roughly correct. Let's just see what Jesse's saying. In breakout, they don't have a trailing stop loss. No, they don't. And here's the thing about trailing stop losses. I love the idea about a trailing stop loss. All right. The problem is, depending on what you're trading, there's a lot of freaking scam wicks. And the trading stop loss comes back and scams you wicks you out. So, I mean, I'm basically do my own trailing stop loss. You know, I can start moving my stop loss into profit as I go. I like being an active trader. It's much easier than I'm trying to do other stuff and all day long. I'm checking my phone, going to the grocery store. I got to check my phone. You know, I'm hanging out with somebody. I got to check my phone. You know what I mean? Like, wait, ladies be like, what you looking at? So, basically, I like being an active trader. When I know there's nothing else going on, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch the charts. Maybe I can pack up a sandwich or something. But, like, I could walk away from this one. It's not that much money on the line. Also, I have all my parameters set. No big deal. You know what I mean? About a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio if this one enters. And I'll leave it. And we'll follow this up in the profit circle, and we'll see what happens on it. But take a look at it here. Everything's set, right? Double check that you have a stop loss. And here's another reason, guys. They do maintenance and shit on these platforms. And once they're doing maintenance, you can't make any changes. So always have a stop loss, all right? Now, you could say I should have, could have, would have entered. Well, I didn't enter the trade, but have your stop loss before you even press the trade, okay? Because I actually, believe it or not, I one time entered a trade, and right after, within 60 seconds, I was going to put in my stop loss, and they went into maintenance. Literally within a minute. I was like, holy shit, I'm on with customer support. You guys just didn't tell me. And they didn't actually give much notice on that maintenance. And I was like, oh shit. Now luckily that was a trade I won. I didn't, it didn't go negative. But when you're in breakout prop, you can't go negative too much because you'll get breached. So, I mean, listen, you don't want to lose that in FIMX or anything else either. But like literally, that's how the rules work. So, in breakout prop, if you guys don't know, right, you can buy about $1,000 to get you $100,000 to trade with. You got to pass the evaluation though. And so the evaluation is you got to make 10 grand before you lose 6 grand. So the thing is, you got to have a stop loss, or else the sky's the limit. You could just lose all your money, and then you'd be breached and you have to buy another eval. So always have a stop loss. Everyone should always have a stop loss no matter what. But basically, if it goes into maintenance or something, your fucking internet goes out, you might get screwed over. So always enter that stop loss, even if it's one that's far away. It's not your perfect TA stop. Just put something in there, and then you can adjust it. So if somehow the machine stops working, the internet stops working, the maintenance happens, you got something to protect your downside so your whole account doesn't get drained. So anyways, that's my soapbox on that. It has happened though. I didn't get liquidated or anything like that. But it was definitely a thing where I couldn't believe it went into maintenance like 1 minute after I set my trade. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So let's see. So now I just did is seen them do it together, stop loss, but then added the T-player separately. Yeah, thanks. No, but you can't add them together. So you can't add them together. Honestly, I haven't entered the trade because it was a limit order, right? It didn't trigger. But you can enter them all together. So here's another thing about breakout prop. If you're new to breakout prop, this is actually going to help you a bit. You can do all of this in advance, and here, check this out. You don't have to go by price. You don't have to go by price. You can go by pips, which is like how many units, but you can also go by projected loss. I only want to lose $100, right? You know what I'm saying? You're like, I don't want to lose more than $100 in this trade because you're kind of managing your bankroll. If I manage my bankroll, like the dollar amount matters more than the price, especially so here's another thing too. If you're doing a market order, when you actually click the button, right, if you're scalping, you got to do market orders. You got to act fast. You don't have time to set a price and a stop loss. So what you can do there, you can either say a limit, like I don't want to lose more than $50 or $100 or $1,000, or you can do percentage of balance. Now, the reason this matters is because that's how breakout prop is determining if you're going to get breached or not. So my percentage of balance, I could say I don't want to lose more than 1% on this trade. And that turns out to be 4,000 pips or a price of 0.74 based upon this position sizing. I could have a bigger position sizing and that changes, right? Now, that stop loss just moved to 0. You know what I'm saying? Like now, if I got 49,000 of this, it looks like you can't do that ticker that big. But if I got $49,000 of this, obviously that's going to change the projected loss, right? This projected loss is $12,000 now. This projected loss is $1,200. So that's telling me at 1% of my balance, because I have 122,000, that $1,228 is my percentage loss if I were to get stopped on this trade. And then it already does the math for you, but that's at 0.7403. Like this would have to go way against me, right? Like this ticker ain't never going back to 0.7403, right? So based on the $496 position size, which ain't very big, I could set I could risk 1% of my whole entire balance. It would cost me $1,200 if I lost, but it tells me that price is hella far away. So you can do this in multiple ways, and this is pretty cool. I like that about breakout prop. This is pretty cool. Set all that in advance, take profit style, and then hit send order, and you're good. Either market or limit. So I did mine out of order, if you will, right? You don't have to do it after you enter the trade. In this case, I didn't enter the trade. I just hit a limit order, but that's something that's, I think, helpful to show the different options on how you want to determine your level of stop loss, not just a price, because then I have to do the TA for price. And really, I'm worried about money, right? On breakout prop, I don't want to lose a certain amount of dollar amount or a certain amount of percentage of my bankroll. That's more important. So then when I go in here, now I can adjust my percentage, my position size, right? Because I could say I don't want to lose more than 1% of my balance, but 1% of my balance, that's going to be the same, $1,220, but that's like 0.74. But really, remember up here, let me go back to this. Remember up here, actually, I got to go to this. My stop loss is 0.356, right? So if I want to do the math the other way that said that my stop loss being at 0.356, how much money is that? How do I make that 1% of my balance? I could adjust this position size now and say, breakout prop. I could adjust my position size now and say 20,000 lots gives me a $3,000 position. It makes my let's see, percentage. No, I want my percentage of balance. Oh, they adjusted the percentage of balance, actually. Excuse me. They did adjust that. So if I make that 1%, 0.39, you kind of got to finagle with the position side. A little bit annoying. That's the one thing. I wish you could put in dollar amount here. But like that shows me a $3,000 position of that. Let's try it. Let's try this. 46. Oh, they're only letting you go. So volume should not be less. This is a real shit coin. So they're not letting you do. Oh, I'm gonna put that in there. Okay. So 1% loss on 3,300. Oh, I was trying to do it bigger. I think is there a cap on this one? No. What are they doing? Some of these tickers are so small they only let you get so big of a position here. I'm trying to do a $30,000 position. That'd be $4,600. They're saying volume should be less than or equal to 20. Oh, yeah, 20,000. So 20 is the cap on this ticker. You can't do bigger. So a $20,000 position is worth $3,300. If I want to do a 1% stop loss, it'd be 39. Let's just say I stick with in this case, I wouldn't do it. I would have to do price because I'm doing my TA based on price. And that's 3, 4, 5, 6. My projected loss is only $296. You know, that's not bad. It's not bad, but my take profit, which I said was 3106, maybe $400. That's not very. Oh, that's because that's where the price is right now. We were going to do a limit order and enter it here. You guys can't see that. Enter it here on this widget here, right? I said the middle price is my open is 0062. So that's no, not 0062. That's a quantity. What line is this? 3369. So if I entered at 3369 and my stop loss is at 34, I could lose 34.56, lose $174. But if I win 3106, I win 526. All right, so Jesse and Blockchain Cowboy, what about this setup? Let's get some real money on it, right? This is the most they let you do, 20,000 lots, $3,300 position. How do you feel about this trade? Should we do this trade? Trade of your choice. You said, Jesse, I'm learning every day. Never like to short, but now, yeah, you got to learn how to short in this market, Jesse. You definitely got to learn how to short in this market. So what do you guys think about this setup here? Let me make it bigger. I entered that. I actually haven't entered. I was right here. The price never hit. Your internet's regging? Shit. What do you guys think? Let me see what Tupla said. Okay, I know yesterday I was entering a short on ETH, and by the time I was entered, it took a huge dump. I wish the entering process, adding stop loss, take profit bracket was faster, like TradingView. Yeah, and you'll get faster at it, Tupla. You get faster at it as the more you do it, but it does. The thing that takes the longest is position side. But here's the good thing: once you close this, that's going to open back up to 20,000 again. That's kind of cool. So whatever was your last position here, it always comes back to that one. So now you just gotta reset this. You know, if you really got to rush to jump in, you got to just jump in the market order, and then you double click on it over here, and then it will make it another. And then you can enter in the stop loss after that. Let's see, Blockchain Cowboy entry was 33.26. That's not bad. Let's see what 33.26 is. So my projected loss here is 2,600. My projected gain is 4,400. I mean, Blockchain Cowboy, what do you guys think about my TA? Right? Like, what do you think about this trading range I got? Do you think that this top white line is a good place to put a stop loss, right? Like, if it goes above here, I don't know. It might break out. It could do a scam wick right here, but I don't know. You know, you could get scam wicked, but I'm looking at, like, I got to protect myself from one of these epic moves happening. You know what I mean? You know, because if this wants to catch fire, being it's, you know, one of the only green tickers right now, you know, you never know with these shit coins, something could just catch on. You know what I'm saying? The red dot showed up again on the 1 hour. It sure did, right down here. Yeah, I mean, we could enter right there. This is showing me, look at this exact same pattern where it didn't do shit. It's kind of hard to say that. This one, so here's the thing, Blockchain Cowboy, and I know I always say like I have my 1 hour strategy. I'm still looking at higher time frames. So when you see a lot of, remember the Christmas tree lights Matt calls out? You see a lot of shit like this. To me, that kind of invalidates this time frame. I'm going to want to go bigger to see like what wave is it trading on, right? It's not, it's cycles, if you will. Its mini cycles are not happening on the 1 hour. It's flat. This is kind of meaningless is kind of how I'm looking at that. So I'm like, okay, 2 hours, same deal. This is a little Christmas tree. I can't get a handle on that. 3 hour, even here, we're getting a little bit. 4 hours the one. And even here, it kind of did it. But I'm like, 4 hours the one where we haven't seen a dot yet. That's the one that to me is going to show me a trend change because the other lower ones didn't show it to me yet. You get what I'm saying? Does that kind of make sense? So I want to see the 4 hour start to do it. This one is, I call it, it's trading on the 4 hour waves. That's how I call it, right? Like this ticker is kind of doing that. Now, could you cheat ahead? Maybe this is the top. Maybe we're going to get a dot. Maybe, you know, we might, maybe this is a good place to enter right here. But it going so flat on the 1 hour, it kind of invalidates my 1 hour theory. You know what I mean? I wish it was that systematic. I could tell you every time the 1 hour dot means you're going. Obviously, we're on this 1 hour dot, didn't mean shit. This one, same thing, right? So it kind of tells me this ain't trading on the 1 hour dot. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to zoom out and wait a little bit more to see what this is trading off of. It's also kind of a weird ticker, right? Let's see. You guys use volume profile. Use it in the picture. So I have some of the volume profile stuff over here. The short answer for me is I don't. I don't have it. I don't use it. You know, it's kind of obvious for me when I look at some of this stuff. Like I can see support and resistance based upon these types of things. Or I don't know if you're talking about volume down here. You know why volume down here doesn't matter to me is because this matters on what exchange you're on. And, you know, I take a look at it sometimes, but it's like, again, it's kind of obvious where you had a lot of money change hands. You're going to see volume spike, this volume spike. I don't know if you're talking about volume profile. If you're talking about this one, then like, obviously this is the trading range that I drew. You know what I mean? So I don't really need it. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means I don't really, it's just more noise on my chart. It's really what it comes down. I don't even have market cipher A on. Let's turn on market cipher A. I do like market cipher A. Now market cipher A, the blue triangles don't always mean a top. You know, I don't know. What I'm looking for is blood diamonds and shit on market cipher A. That's what I like looking at. I'm looking at the blood diamonds. It's kind of one of the main things. I also like this blue line. Can you see this blue line that they have outlining the swing wick highs and lows? I kind of like that. Because then when you're going to measure something, you put the line, you can see that line. That was the last wick high and shit. I kind of like that. Actually, it's a feature that I don't think it was turned on. You double click it. Come on. And then it's one of these features on here you got to turn on. This one? No, not blue triangle. It's one of these ones on here that you got to make sure it's turned on. Pivot high, I think that's what it is. Let's see if it'll change color. Yeah, that one, pivot high. I like that. Because that one shows me what's been going on in that ticker. You can see kind of clearly, okay, it's been flat the last time we went here, boom, right? That easily shows you where that white line for resistance would be. Okay, Lexington mint limit 36. Yeah, so let's see here. Is that what I had it at? Let's see. 69, right? Yeah, and that shows me here, right? So $174 loss, $526 gain. Fuck it. Should we do it? Let's go for it. So I put that here. What I'll do is I'll cancel the other ones. All right, guys? I'm going to cancel the other ones. You can just click on it and cancel here. I could have canceled it here. This one, the 33.88. That's where I really want to get in, but we'll cancel that one. We'll just ride out with this one. This was kind of already the average that was going to create roughly. So that's our trade here, all right? I'm going to leave it live. I don't want to jump in a short right here for no reason. I'm saying if we get one of these pumps, one of these scam wicks up here, entered here, boom. We got a little bit of wiggle room here. Boom. If we get stopped here, it is what it is. You know what I mean? This is significant money, right? This is a breakout prop. You know, I got $3,300 on the line. It's not a lot, but it's something. If you win, I'll be happy to win if I win $526. You know what I'm saying? And if I lose, I only lose $174. So that's not bad, right? That's about let's see. So let me put it in here actually. Our entry is 33.69. Was that the entry here? So you double click on that widget. Where's the entry? Profit, stop, entry. Oh yeah, 33.69 right here. So, and then I had a profit was at, looks like I did it all correctly. 4, 5, 6, boom. So, yeah, and that's a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So, there we go. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Let's get it. That's right. Let's get it. It's live. So, let's see what happens. I've never traded this ticker before. So, we're just looking at this trading range based upon this trading range. You know, I'm not being too aggressive. I'm not saying you got to kiss the bottom of this because I think there's a chance. So, let's just talk about Monday real quick. Let's talk about tomorrow. I think there's a chance we get a bounce. You know, the NASDAQ loves to bounce after it's just dumped. The NASDAQ, it's relentlessly bullish. I mean, crypto's dropped a lot, but the NASDAQ has not really dropped that much. I mean, it's basically the upward momentum just finally stopped. You know, the most ridiculous upward momentum from way down here finally stopped. Now, I am bearish. I called these shorts here because this was the all-time high, and then it came up, it hit these lines here, it kissed it again, and, you know, like it couldn't make a new all-time high. I think this might be the top for a while. And, you know, now people got to learn to trade. You know, this up-only shit, and everyone thought they were a genius because it was just going up. Now you got to learn how to trade. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I drew this box, this support and resistance range, this purple box a few Sundays ago, somewhere around here. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking for it to, because I was looking for it to revisit this. It did. It broke out. Okay. And you see, and here's the thing. You see how I drew these lines. I drew these lines a while ago. I was like, okay, it could hit another, you know, could kiss almost all-time high, come back down again. That was kind of my prediction. Is either that or to kiss this lower one and come back down. And just like my Bitcoin prediction, when I started this show, I had the arrows drawn. You can see those arrows I had drawn on here. This one here. You know, I don't know what to tell you. I originally drew this one back here. It didn't. It went lower. Okay, fine. And but then I drew it again and came back down again. And Bitcoin's just not giving me that strength. You know, you need buyers, man. Markets are self-fulfilling prophecies, man. You got 1992 on grass myself. That's how much money you got on it? What's 1992? $1,992? I'm not on it yet. We'll see if it enters. We'll see if it enters. Crap, I need to pull it up. So what I do, the way I organize my chart, by the way, is if I'm trading shit, I'm going to pull this one up by Bitcoin. Now, this particular ticker, I don't think it really trades with Bitcoin. I think it's doing whatever the hell it wants to do. So we got to do its own TA on itself. You just can't. Granted, if I think the whole entire market's dumping, it will probably go down. But some tickers don't. Some tickers will go up. You know, when we're trading some of these shit coins, what was this trad? You know, these ones, like people are looking for alpha when everything's dumping. So sometimes they'll squeeze these ones up because they're, you know, we got a bunch of gamblers here. You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, whatever's going up, I want to jump in that one. So you got to be careful trying to short these super shit coins. You think, oh, the whole market's going down. But then they go counter trend because they're the only thing pumping. So everybody jumps into those. That's why I like these boring ass Atom, APT, WIF, these ones that nobody cares about. Like nobody's going to come back and say, WIF is going to take the market to all-time highs. This is the chosen one. Nobody's talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when it pumps, this is an opportunity to make the money with the dumping. You get what I'm saying? Like WIF ain't changing the game. You know what I mean? So that's why the boring tickers are going to make you more money because you're not going to get squeezed out of nowhere. Less likely to. I also like to diversify. If you guys were early on the show, I was showing my old rap called Diversified. And, you know, it was one of them ones is like, you know, these shit coins can pop off out of nowhere. It's nice to be diversified. You get stopped on one. You might have 3, 4, 5 other ones that are still in the game. So, you know, that's why I like to diversify those. It's more work. Obviously, you got to watch more tickers. But, you know, I also said in the Profit Circle earlier this week, maybe I'll just say fuck it and trade nothing but Bitcoin. I just don't like to short Bitcoin, and I'm bearish right now. But it's like Bitcoin not going to give me these crazy scam wicks like some little, you know, shit coin. Like even Ethereum Classic will give you that, right? You know, this one here. So, you know, that's why, you know, diversify. That's me. If you got one ticker you always trade and you know its behaviors and how it moves, stick with that one ticker if you're trying to make money, shit. You know? But if you come to the Profit Circle, we're going to show you some tickers that you're not used to seeing. And you might find a new one. You know, I can't pick one. I ain't even got a favorite. I'm diversified. I ain't only talking trading. Just like my girls got them all cooperating. Let's go. So let me see here. I'm going to go back to that. Where is it? I was going to try to find one. Where the hell is it? What are we looking at? Lost my train of thought. Gold versus Bitcoin. Altcoin season chart. Raoul Pal. I can't remember what I was going to show on here. But basically, these tickers, they get over their skis and they go wild. You know? Oh, I was going to show you the Discord. That's what I was going to show you. New Discord right at the top. So over here, on this side right here, if you're verified, you come to future trades and you're going to see these setups. And then sometimes leave an audio message here that explains what I was thinking about, which is what I told you about. Look, it said, now that's what I call a Wile E. Coyote setup, right? And sure enough, that's what happened. So this you get access to once you're verified. So if you're a verified wave maker, that means that you get access to all the channels on the left. You can't see them right now, but there's other channels over here as well. And if you're not, then you just get in the general chat. That's cool. But what it does is it keeps out the riffraff. Right? We don't have a bunch of people scamming or shilling or anything in there. Now, it's $99 a month if you want to pay, but I'm going to give you the first month for free. All I ask is I want you to be a real trader. So you're going to create an account with my FIMEX referral code, and that's the one that is not on the screen right now. Let me make sure I get it up here. FIMEX referral code is being blocked right now. This code here, GMMNX5, if you create an account with that, you get special perks. Trust me, if you go to do it, you'll see why. You can get signed up real fast. I can't actually say what all the perks are in here. But basically, once you do that, you go over here to the verification channel. Let me go back to Discord. I know I haven't seen any scammers in there either. Actually, no, that's not true. In the general chat, there's been some scammers like, buy your Solana wallet, all that shit. I just kick them out, Don't click on anything they send you. And also, I don't DM you on, I'm never going to DM you first in Discord. So make sure, I might not see your friend request and all that stuff. You know it ain't me if somebody's DMing you on there. Discord's harder to tell impersonators. That's why I just make that as a rule. But what happens is you get your FIMEX user ID. You come over here, you click verify. This is just in the verify channel. You put in here, there's a bot. I have a bot set up. And when you submit it, it verifies that you did, in fact, create a FIMEX account with my link. So now all you have to do is you're going to click on the get free trial link, and it's going to take you over to what you're going to click this link. It's going to take you to WAP, and that's where you put in your information to get your 30 days free. So that's how the profit circle works, and then you get access to all the other channels. It has my bullish tickers, my bearish tickers. We've got the market analysis every day. We go in there and discuss what's going on, make some short videos, tell you what happened on those trades. Yeah, this is just overnight. It's like not even 24 hours, and everything dropped, and make a quick 50-60%, I said, did anybody else do this one? And this guy, he did it too, right? And top, he's like, hell yeah, he got in on that. So, the profit circle has been popping, y'all. And, it's a pretty thing. It's all right on Maddie's at G-Stream down there. You guys can't see it. But basically, man, we've been winning, and people like Raoul Pal have been losing. And instead of them admitting it, of course they're not going to admit it, they just move the goalpost and say, oh, well, it's a 2026 cycle. And, he was wrong about so much shit. Ethereum, everything. I was like, guys, man, this shit is fake, So let me just make sure I covered everything I want to cover today before we get off here. Trading is not being about right or wrong as much as it is about risk management. I definitely want to say that. I want to call that out. Because if I was wrong on those trades or whatever, I need to know how much am I going to get dinged, right? And I think that's why breakout prop is good for some people. And also even just leverage trading in general. You only got to risk a little bit of money to make a lot. So if you're wrong, you cut your losses and it's not a big deal. It's not going to take your whole bankroll. You don't have to put all your money on the exchange. In fact, just put 10 or 20%. If you got $100,000, you only got to put 10 or 20,000 on the exchange. So you're not even tempted to use the rest of that $100,000. And then there's the general rule of thumb is don't risk more than 1% per trade. Now, what that means is it doesn't mean that you can't use more than 1% of your bankroll. It just means that if you're going to have a loss, you're going to cut your loss at no more than 1%, right? Some people say 2%, whatever the case. All right, said we're on trade. So watching and learning. Yep, no. And by the way, too, we had some great people in the profit circle who passed their evaluations for the first time. I gave them a shout out on Twitter and social media and everything, and they credited the profit circle. I appreciate y'all because a lot of people had trouble passing their exchange. They talk about he lost 5 times, lost in an eval 5 times, but after he joined the profit circle, he started winning more and more and more, and eventually he passed his evaluation. So shout out to the wave makers. We always in there trying to help you win, man. So anyways, let me just go over what else I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Stop making these people famous is my my point today. Let's see. Oh, I do want to say this. How many of y'all remember a guy by the name of Gary V? Gary V? He raises his eyebrows real high, so that means he must know what he's talking about, right? Just says obvious things and acts like they're mind-blowing, right? I'm so glad he wasn't shoved down our throat this cycle. Anybody still holding a V-Friends NFT? Anyone? V-Friends? Anyone? Yeah, the shit was fucking bullshit like everything else. You get what I'm saying? And I don't care how famous these people are. The guy had an arena that was not filled for V-Friends, And because we went to the Bitcoin conference and people went to the V-Friends, I was like, oh my God. So like, this cycle, all of those charlatans didn't get a chance to thrive. And they kind of, basically the emperor has no clothes. I'm glad he's not shoved on our timeline. He was shoved down our throats and shoved down our throats and shoved down our throats. These people just got lucky, man. They found an algorithm hack and they just poured hella money into it. But like, bruh, like, he wasn't right. Did he make any money? No. He got a whole bunch of people wrecked, all right? I'm not Gary Vee. I don't ever want to be Gary Vee, right? Every YouTuber wants to be like the next famous YouTuber, or, the people like Ben Cohen who will only respond to you on Twitter if you have a bigger account than them type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck all that. I'm responding to anybody who talks to me. I don't give a fuck you got a bigger account or a smaller account. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got something productive to say, I'm gonna check it out. If you start being on some bullshit, then there's no discussion. I ain't got time for that. But like, to me, I don't give a damn about your Twitter follower size. You got something to contribute, I want to hear it. It may not even agree with what I'm saying, but if it's an honest disagreement, then I want to see your thesis, because maybe I'm missing something. Shit. Okay? And we'll do the same thing in the profit circle. It's just that you're not going to find that on social media, because their career is based upon gaining followers on social media. Their career is not based upon winning trades. Okay? So I have a new thing. I'm like, look, just stop trusting bigger accounts and just start trusting the smaller accounts more. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but like, I'm not getting paid by any blockchains or like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get a referral commission if you use Breakout Prop, and I'm trying to teach you how to use Breakout Prop, but I don't have a crypto token that I'm trying to pump. You know what I mean? I'm not famous enough. So you can like trust me when I say this shit is going to go up or it's going to go down, more so than someone who's getting paid to tell you it's going to go up. You get what I'm saying? So like, that's why I'm like, okay, just unfollow these people, bro. You know what I mean? Doodles, NFTs. Nobody is everyone got wrecked on that shit, bro. Everybody. Like, the jig is up. You know what I mean? So I definitely wanted to say that. Start listening to some real ones, These so-called thought leaders aren't helping anybody. They just extract value and personal gain from their own, they're good salesmen. They take it from their own community. So all I'm saying is grow up, man. We all got bills to pay. You know what I mean? Everybody is trying to make money if you're in finance. And that's what I like about finance. It's honest greed. I've been calling it that since 2020. It's honest greed, right? The deal is executed at the moment it's made. It's not, I'll pay you back on Friday. I don't have to pretend like if you give me a better deal on these shares, then I'll donate to charity. None of that shit, bro. We know what we're doing. We're here to make money, bro. And it's shameless, but that's what it is. I'm not saying money's the most important thing in life. Hell nah. We know it's a tool, but we know that this industry is not pretending to be philanthropic. You're here to make money, bro. We're traders, and it's honest in that space and in that degree, and everybody's on a level playing field. So, that's why I keep it real. But I mean, listen, that's why I have fun with it. That's why we do music videos. That's why we do other things. That's why we have the show. You know what I mean? So there's community involved as well. But we want everybody to win. You know what I'm saying? I sure as hell don't want to pay some charlatan to tell just to pump their bags and they're gonna rug pull us. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? I can't get behind that. And I've been in this game too long. And if I ever ask you what your thesis is and you tell me it's because so and so told you, that ain't a thesis. Do your own. I'm here to try to teach you how to fish. That's what we're doing in the profit circle. So, how your parents used to say when you get older, you understand. That's kind of how trading works with experience. There's no substitute for experience. The craziest thing is, I can tell you not to trust people who say, trust me, bro. But at the same time, I have to tell you, trust me, bro. You don't have to listen to what all these people say. Or trust me, bro. There's no super secret indicator that's going to give you the answers of when to buy and sell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a funny thing, because you're never going to trust me, bro, until you go and try all this shit and realize it doesn't work. And then you're going to come back and be like, yeah, most of that was actually noise. If I combine my Fibonacci with my support and resistance, with my momentum wave, and then I got to cram up this perfect formula, I swear to God, I think smarter people have a harder time trading than people who just like the skill set. Like, I was talking on the phone to a woman last night, and I don't know anything about trading. She asked me if I was always good at math in school. And I said, I was a good student and shit in school, but math ain't got nothing to do with this. This is about trend chasing, okay? This business is not, I'm not doing no calculations. Hell, I showed you Breakout Prop is trying to do the math for me, and I was still fucking up, right? You don't got to be smart to be good at this business. What you're really trying to do is recognize trends. So if you have indicators from me, I like the momentum waves. I've always traded off momentum even before I had Market Cypher B. I just have a better measuring stick with it. That's what I like about it. But these things run in moves. Even if you watch CNBC, you used to watch CNBC every day. They come on there and they say, well, it's got a good story. Tesla's got a good story. This bank's got a good story. And then as soon as the story ends, the stock drops. I'm like, but the fundamentals of the company didn't change, bro. right? And in crypto, it's a little bit different. In crypto, it's like, oh, so-and-so tweeted about it, or Aster, right? CZ tweeted about Aster. He said that he's going to buy it with his own money. And then it goes up for, a half a day, and then I shorted that shit, and it came back down, It looked like this, And I'm just like, how come in crypto fundamentals mean that so-and-so tweeted about it? Really? That's a fundamental in crypto? We're not there yet, bro. I have a Bitcoin chain around my neck. I believe in decentralized finance. I'm a blockchain enthusiast. I'm not a fucking hater. I'm just telling you, as a real trader, like, I have to be realistic about what's going to make me money or not. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not hating on these projects, but there's literally 26 million cryptos this cycle. 26 million. 99.9999 of them are fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, So, okay, that's fine. What's going up in here? I ain't want to duck in fear. You want to trade memes? Fine. In here, hold my fucking beer. Long-term utility, they stay fading, so fuck it. I'm making a living off day trading. That's what we're going to do. And that's why I made the song Crashing Waves, because I knew this would happen. Is the bookend of Imaginary Traders. I played you guys Imaginary Traders at the beginning of the show. On the other end of it is Crashing Waves, when everything came back down, right? This little pump and dump right here is basically a metaphor for the whole cycle, Let's see what Total 3 looks like right now. Total 3. Go to the daily. Total 3. Hasn't come all the way back down. But I circled this a while back. It bounced. It actually broke through here. That was that last all-time high. And we're back down here to these July levels. Not quite to April's yet. Not to June. Not way down here. But not looking so good. And I even question things like these charts. Total 3. What is Total 3? If I ask that question, people are stupid enough to try to give me the answer that it says on CoinMarketCap. I'm like, you guys, I'm not answering that question. I don't know what the definition of Total 3 is. Total 3 is all altcoins minus Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins. I know what it's supposed to be, but is it tracking all 26 million of them? Because if it were, I don't think it would be this high. The only tokens pumping up this high are fucking Zcash and like XRP, I guess. BNB. Like, that's not enough, because even... if you're not talking about Ethereum either, who the hell is holding this up? Solana is down. You know what I'm saying? BNB is coming down. I think BNB was the one propping it up the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how they're actually calculating it. What about all the other thousands of tokens that do have money? They add up. Like, I don't even trust this shit. I don't trust none of this shit, especially over the long term. And the thing about short-term traders is we get to be held accountable. If I hadn't won that trade last night, like this morning when I woke up, when it won here on Femex, if I hadn't won that shit, then like I was wrong. I don't get to just tell you, oh, it'll pump in 2026. You know what I'm saying? For anybody who joined the show late, I'm gonna show it one more time before I sign off here. All right. This is Raoul Pal, because this is on my timeline, and I'm not even really picking on him. There's a lot of people like him. Okay, it's just I seen this video and it just makes me laugh. It makes me scoff. It makes me be like, you got to be fucking kidding me, right? So let's just play it one time.
You had this perfect 4-year cycle.
Perfect 4-year cycle.
This is where everybody's scratching their heads right now. Is what the hell's going on?
I talked over. I talked over.
That's the big question.
We're going to start over one more time. He says we have a perfect 4-year. Let me stop the music. He said we had a perfect 4-year cycle, and everyone is scratching their heads right now. No, not everyone, bro. Not everyone. I seen meme coins leading this market, leading this pump, this cycle. I knew it was fucking fake. Institutions said they only cared about, other than Bitcoin, they only cared about Ethereum and Solana. I knew both those blockchains are fucking fake. No, not everyone is scratching their heads. You scratched your head, okay? And act like, no, who could have seen this? The guy with only 7,500 Twitter followers saw it. People in my group saw it. You know what I'm saying? No, you didn't see it. So anyways.
You had this perfect 4-year cycle. And this is where everybody's scratching their heads right now. Is what the hell's going on? Has the cycle finished? That's the big question everyone debates all day. And for me, you can see what's happened here. There used to be this perfect 4-year cycle, and suddenly it's changed.
Suddenly it's changed.
Well,
why?
What happened here is we've added an extra year.
Oh!
In 2022,
accident extra year.
At the beginning of 22, rates were still at 0, and they extended the debt maturity by a year to 5 years. So we've got an extra year in the equation.
Boy,
so
that
all of
sounds
the
smart.
debts that need to get rolled in 2026 and not 2025. So that's why we've had less liquidity than we've expected at this point. the banana zone point in the cycle has had less liquidity. I only really found this out over the summer when I redid the maths on all of this.
Over the summer, he figured it out.
Wow,
I've been shorting
they've
since
actually
last
changed
December.
the structure of liquidity here.
They changed the structure of liquidity.
So when we change it to the new 5.4 year where the debt maturity is,
5.4 years,
this is what we're going to get. So again, it gives you an idea that we're probably likely to peak out towards the end of 2026 in terms of liquidity as opposed to this year. So,
all right, I'm cutting him off. He's standing on his Solana scam stage. Listen, you guys, he's full of shit. Raoul Pal, you're full of shit. He starts with an end of where he thinks Bitcoin is supposed to be, and then when nothing is working out, he has to try to change the goalposts of what's going to make it happen. All right? Here's the thing. He's not giving you a real reason why the 4-year cycle has to change. He's trying to say that the liquidity cycle has changed because of when debt matured. That has not ever been the reason why there was so-called a 4-year cycle in Bitcoin. The 4-year cycle in Bitcoin is based upon the halving happening every 4 years. It was not, the thesis was not that it was a liquidity cycle. Now I would say that you can say in hindsight the liquidity cycle may have been what was causing it, but still, for him to change that is a hell of a thing. He's admitting he was wrong. He's admitting he was wrong. That's why the title of my thumbnail is not a false. Raoul Pal was wrong. He just admitted it. He's like, oh, so now it's a 5.4 year cycle. There we go. Let's see what happens in 2026. All right. My point is this. If 2026 comes and Bitcoin don't hit whatever price he's talking about, he may have a seat. He could have had a seat way back when he was in 2023 talking about Ethereum is the one that is the only money of the internet and all this and all that. Ethereum fucking sucked this cycle, bro. Ethereum was trash this cycle. All right. So I just, you at the end of the day, you guys just stop listening to these people. Just stop. Stop it. Like, just shut them up, bro. Block them. I don't care. Like, literally just block them. It's all fucking noise. You're going to learn to trade on your own. You're going to make some freaking money. All right? That's what you're going to do. You're going to short when these idiots are just, like, constantly, relentlessly bullish. You're telling me that Ethereum had a good cycle this cycle? All-time high was here, November 2021. And this is what happened now. And that guy, he just nothing but shilling Ethereum this whole time. He was wrong, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be wrong, but it's only, there's no consequences for him when he's wrong. You see, I drew these shits hella long ago, and this is what it should happen. Come on, man. Stop it. I'm through. I'm not listening to none of them motherfuckers ever again, all right? Listen, yes, exactly, Jesse. Everyone knows Ethereum is shit. You know how they know Ethereum is shit? Because they've tried to use it. I got rid of Ethereum. Let's go back. I got rid of Ethereum somewhere here. No, excuse me. Back. The last cycle, 2021, when I had a transaction fail and still charge me gas fees. I sold Ethereum at somewhere about $4,100. At the time, I sold only half of my long-term Ethereum bag. I only sold like half of it back then. So I got rid of the rest somewhere along this journey down. But basically, they tricked you into having to buy Ethereum because the gas fees. Exactly. Gas fees are stupid. So you couldn't even transact on it unless you paid gas fees. But then I had a failed stuck transaction that got rejected, and I still had to pay the gas fees? It's literally just a money pit, bro. That's a scam. So, it's funny to me when Ethereum people and Solana people go at it because like a Solana, they basically built in scam as part of their whole thing. It's MEV is stealing. That is a feature, not a benefit on Solana. So I'm like, okay, if this is what TradFi is going to say, that blockchain technology is coming, like this is fake. And then Pump.Fun came, and it was over after that. First Pepe came, and that was the first one to set it off. Then Pump.Fun, and I was like, okay, so this is a meme coin cycle. And I got very disappointed in a lot of my influencer pals because they're pumping these stupid-ass meme coins. They knew would get everybody wrecked. And if you don't believe me, go and look on my Twitter page where I have all of the P&Ls in this video where I got Tony Montana from Scarface talking shit is the audio behind it because I shorted all those fucking things down. I'm up like 4,000% on hell of them. This is before I was even live streaming when I first started doing this shit. So I was like, I knew this was coming. I got music videos made about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been right this whole fucking time. And so I'm a little bit pissed off that people are still listening to these people. Stop listening to them, bro. Just stop it. You know what I'm saying? Even if he happens to turn out to be right, it's not because he did anything or had some great prediction or some mathematics or some fucking chart. He's talking out of his fucking ass. You got a 50-50 chance in trading, bro. It could go up, it could go down. Midterm elections. Thank you, Nick Flip. That's what really, so in the stock market, so here's a fun fact. In the stock market, nothing ever happens 100% of the time except this one thing. The midterm elections have been the bottom, or I should say, let me rephrase this. if you bought the S&P 500 at the day of the midterm elections in the stock market on every cycle, every midterm election, every 4 years, within 1 year of that date, you were always green. So that doesn't mean it didn't go any lower for the next month or two. But 1 year from the midterm elections was always higher than during the midterm elections. Going back like 100 years in the stock market, something like that, like going all the way back. So, yes, midterm elections, 2026, October, November. If when people want to know when I want to buy, I'm like, why am I buying shit here now? I just wait for the bottom of the bear market. You start DCA into whatever you want, Bitcoin, Ethereum, not Ethereum, Bitcoin, S&P 500, NASDAQ, that kind of shit if you're looking for a long-term DCA plan. But yes, around the midterm elections, a little bit month before, month during, month after, things like that. That's when you start DCA. Not doing that shit now. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time, okay? Bitcoin is not going to the moon. You're not going to miss it. I mean, think about it. Bitcoin did about a 5x since the bottom of, here's November 2022, right? We're at like 23,000, somewhere around here, right? November midterms would be right about here, November 6th. We're at 20,000, something like that. Up here, man, did a 5x at 125K, bro. 5-6x. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. That was a good return. You know what I'm saying? Bitcoin giving you a 5x return, 6x return, that's fucking great. Bitcoin was never going to be 100x or 10x even. You know what I'm saying? You did great. Okay. I'm not DCAing now. You know what I'm saying? Looking at this, what might be some kind of little head and shoulders or something. Like, I mean, again, Bitcoin has held up stronger. Bitcoin has been much stronger than a lot of coins, That's why I don't really short Bitcoin. I'm shorting something that's weaker than Bitcoin. There was only 8 tickers from last cycle that outperformed Bitcoin this cycle that were around. So it's like BNB, Solana, let's see, XRP. There was only a couple. Tron. So there's 4. There wasn't many. There's 4 others I always forget. But basically, a lot of that shit just didn't, the dino coins we call them, no matter how good we thought the tech was back then for us blockchain enthusiasts, price action didn't have to go. And, I would talk about in my other alpha group every day during like 2023 and shit during the bear market. And like, what are we going to do when the fervor comes again? I stuck to the strategy, and the guys are still buying dip, losing. I'm like, bruh, like, no one said you only have to trade in one direction. Long only is not the play. You know what I'm saying? Not the play. And this is Bitcoin, right? What about shitcoin? What about good old Moondeg? This is one of my favorite shorts. God damn. You know what I'm saying? This is way up here. You know what I mean? Yes, I have a Moondeg short open from here in my account, my other account. Yes. I knew this shit was fake. All right. And then when this hit, I was like, wow, they really tried to do something. I didn't care. I was shorting from way up here, So basically, most of this stuff pumped, this is right after the election, right? December 2024. That was it. That was your alt season. And by the way, alt season was never longer than like 10 days anyways. Alt season is always like a week long anyways. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, Jesse, I got to run too, man. 147, I went over the time. I appreciate the chat. Everybody jumped in here. How many likes did we get? How many likes? Did we get 100 likes? I don't think I have to give away $1,000 right now. Let's see. So 5863. Carlitos, he said, in shorting, gravity works easier than lift, for sure. But I do not see a Wile E. Cody set up yet. Well, we got a little Wile E. Cody last night. That's why I hit those. I put those 4 in the future trades. So we got those Wile E. Codys. And, Wile E. Cody on whatever time frame you want. But a lot of them already dumped. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to have a Wile E. Cody if they already fell off the cliff, But on that note, we'll give the Wile E. Cody some love one more time. You gotta love it. To the moon over here. So, anyways, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me one more time. I'm gonna show my little clip. The music video I'm pretty excited about. Loudmouth's debut song. You know what I mean? No better person than Loudmouth to do a song with. He's been my boy for a while, but he's also he's Loudmouth. He's gonna also turn the party up. So in real life, my in real life guy Loudmouth. I'm gonna show you guys that. Miami was lit. I can't even post all the shit I had. It was, wait a minute. God damn, guys, I gotta post some more to women on that motherfucker. I'm trying to tell you, even the women be like, damn, like, But the music video is gonna be hot. And let's see, Art Basel. Let's go right here.
We high. We high.
I see a million here and a million there. Let's go. 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 Let's go.
Yeah, that's a little snippet. Let me tell you something too. I made that after the first day. That's not from the whole trip. I was there for a week. That was after the first day. I guess the second day. It was like after the first real party. So I got a lot more footage than that. All right, that was just the beginning. Okay, you got the loudmouth tattoos on the girls and their arms and their titties and shit, and then they holding up the loudmouth fans in the club and shit. And he was on stage, and we was backstage with the DJs. Got the Oompa Loompas, man. We was doing the most. It was. I luckily didn't drink too much, but boy, we were exhausted. Let me tell you something, man. And then with the fashion show, the swimsuit models. Oh my God. But yeah, Miami was lit. So, anyways, more big things coming for the Profit Show. I'm gonna start doing next year. I'm gonna try to have more contests. So I mentioned earlier in the Profit Circle, the people who are real active. Some get new wave makers in here, right? If you jump in the private group, you're gonna have 1 month for free if you use my referral code to create a Fimex account, right? You get 1 month for free. What I'm doing is, if you are active in here and you're posting setups and you're helping the community and stuff, I'm gonna give you the next month for free. All right, so come in here, be active, say what's up. You know what I'm saying? Show them what your setups are. You helping people make money. I'm not trying to charge you. I just know there's people going to come in and it's going to take the value. Well, no, they got to pay to play if they're going to just get all our setups. But you're going to be, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to waive the fee for you if you're in here as a contributor. You feel me? So that's what I'm doing. We're going to also be doing some more giveaways when I start doing the webinars for new folks to get them going and stuff like that. But more big things coming for your boy Cassius Cuvée. If you guys know me by now, I don't stop. You know, thank God I don't have kids and shit like that. Like, this is my baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm on these markets right before I go to bed. As soon as I open my eyes, I'm in the Profit Circle, and I'm looking at the charts and giving my analysis with a still hoarse throat from just waking up in the morning. So we really about this life. So if you're a real trader, this is traders only. We don't have no nonsense in here, no one arguing over politics and shit. We over here, we discussing trade setups, some technical questions right here is a good question. He was asking about a strategy for breakout prop. And I did want to mention this. So if you haven't seen some of the videos on my channel, some of these will give you the strategies. The key is learning the rules. Long story short, you got to learn the rules first, and then you can develop your strategy around that. Mostly bankroll management strategies. But I have these 2 videos. I have other videos. I have another video, by the way, if you're still listening to Tupla. There's one that shows how the leverage works. In breakout prop, there's 5x leverage built in for Bitcoin and Ethereum and 2x leverage for everything else. That video is important, because I literally showed a math. I compare it to Fimex just to show the difference. To me, I don't even have a favorite. Fimex is great. Fimex is it's like 6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other. It's like whatever one you like. So let me find the other video for you, because I want to show you what that video looks like. It shows the math on how the 5x leverage is going to work. Come on now. Oh, YouTube. Turn on YouTube here so you can see it. So here, videos. I got to put out, I realize I don't have more videos. I got to make a new video for Breakout Prop explaining it. This one. Understanding the built-in multiplier effect. Let me just play it. Understanding the built-in multiplier effect. If you don't know what that is, it is a prop firm where you get $100,000 of their money to trade with after purchasing an eval for $9.99. Order. And by the way, I already made another, right? On Fimex, if I've got a $5,000 position, it's not charging me $5,000. The key basically is this. In breakout prop, I'm going to show you on here. In breakout prop, you don't see the leverage. You just see your balance and your position size. So margin is your real money if you're on Fimex. Usually margin is the terminology. This is how much money you have. Your position is the position after the margin. So if it's a 10x leverage and I put in $1,000, 10x leverage is a $10,000 position. Whereas in breakout prop, you don't see the two separated like that. If you're using $1,000 in breakout prop on your position, that is in fact $5,000 worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum, or $2,000 worth of any of the other coins. So you don't see that. What you see is the P&L moving 5 times faster, or the P&L moving 2 times faster if it's an altcoin. And that's what kind of throws people off. The other place you see it is on the trading fees. Because remember, the fees are always based on your position size. So sometimes people get sticker shock when they do a Bitcoin trade or something. Someone told me like in other groups, they don't like breakout prop because of the fees. No, the fees are actually comparable to just like market standard. It's just that they look like they're 5 times higher because you got a position size that's 5 times bigger than what you're actually seeing. That's the hardest kind of thing to like wrap your head around when you're new to it. Because like, what the hell? I jumped in the trade and jumped out. I got hit with all these fees. It's like, yeah, but you had a position that was 5 times bigger. If you used all $100,000 in breakout prop on Bitcoin, that would be having a $500,000 size position. And so now they got the accounts with the $200,000. If you use it all in one trade, that's having $1 million on a trade. So it's like, damn, you better be right. But that is why it looks like they're bigger fees. That is why, the P&L moves hella fast. So anyways, this video I just made, it breaks it down. I didn't just make it. The video I've had, it breaks it down on like the math on what that actually looks like, and it compares it to like leverage trading platforms. So watch this video as well, and that should help you out also. So anyways, that's about it. That's all I got today for y'all. This is the Come Up with your boy Cassius Cuvée. Appreciate you rocking with me. I think what I'm going to do for y'all who stuck with me this long, I'm going to play the song with me and Loudmouth, Let's Go, and I'm going to cut off the show right after it ends. So peace, y'all.
But ain't a party without Loudmouth.
We high. We high.
I see a million here and a million there.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I see $1 million here and $1 million there. I get $1 million stares from these millionaires. See the camera splashing off the hottest fashion. The bottle splashing, got the models laughing. I'm loud. The crowd follow me all night. Shine bright like Miami neon lights. Too massive to look past this. Can't match Riz, that's cash is.
IRL is a movie, so we making a scene, and we do it on the daily like the latest routine. Now you know we going crazy where the ladies convene. When you see us on the screen, you'll see I say what I mean. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a vibe, doing it big every time that we slide from the west side to the down south. It ain't a party without Loudmouth. Let's go.
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 Slip at it through a crack in the hysteria. Where you from? Somewhere in South America? Lean in, pheromones never fail ya. I can show you better than I tell ya. It's a sign, you ain't just another dime. More than just fine, girl, you one of a kind. Ha, not a carbon copy. In my ear here.
I'm a sloppy.
Pull up in a jet or pull up in a yacht. Pull up in a supercar right to the spot. Pull up with some baddies and they're screaming, we high. Step into 11 and they're doing fiat. Now listen up, ladies, it's a lucrative lane. One for the money, baby, two for the fame. I'm Loudmouth, always staying true to the name. Ain't nobody better that can do it the same.
Let's go.
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 Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Luxury, level up your company. Limitless, lavish, lifestyle ain't none average. Luminous, lightning, everything we do is exciting. Let's go, 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 let's go.
Peace, y'all.
Jamba.